What's up, guys? Before we begin this podcast, I want to let you know that we are brought to you by the legends at Haver Supply Co. This is a new sponsor. What up, Haver? Legends. So fired up to talk about Haver Supply. These guys, my boy Brad, what up, are putting out very epic lids, soft vintage clothing inspired by outdoor living. And I find myself wearing the OG patch. At times, I don't even want to take it off to sleep. And this vintage throwback apparel is what you'll want stepping back out into the world this summer. Guys, their clothes are legit. You got to check them out. For listeners, you can get 20% off your order with code GODEEP at checkout. Go to haversupply.com, enter code GODEEP at checkout for 20% off. That's Haver, Haver, supply.com, code GODEEP for 20% off at checkout. We are also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dinks are looking fresh and clean. Because today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Back to school time, fellas and ladies. We want to make sure you pack the essentials that have the best year yet. The Manscaped 4th Generation Performance Package is just that. Things are opening up. Be ready for whatever is in the daily schedule for you. It's in the perfect package for your package. It includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Fellas, go to the Valet. Later, Joe. Good to see you. Go to the Valet Dictorian of ball trimming and join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com with the code GODEEP. Finally, we are brought to you by the legends at Talkspace. Talkspace, thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. We like to say no big, but the truth is, little things can really add up, and suppressing emotions only gets you so far. You know, early on in college, after college, I had a lot of anxiety, and I just thought I could handle it by just, I thought it was just a little thing, but then I went to a therapist, and boom, I worked it out, and it was sick. Needing help doesn't mean nothing's wrong with you. Doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you're human. Talkspace is here for you. Match with a licensed therapist when you go to Talkspace.com. Get $100 off your first month with the promo code GODEEP. That's $100 off when you use code GODEEP at Talkspace.com. We're also brought to you by Fruit Smash. Drink Fruit Smash, the best in the biz. And Helix Beer Bongs. Check out Helix Beer Bongs at shopcgd.com. Or for more merch, you can check out our t-shirts at shopcgd.com. Okay, let's start the show. What's with Deep? Going deep, chatting JT. Make the ass clap. Gotta make the ass clap. Gotta make the ass clap. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. I'm just doing rap intros now. I was listening to Make It Rain on the way over here, so pretty fired up on that.
Nice.
Shout out to Fat Joe and Lil Wayne. I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
Boom clap, Stokers.
And we have a very special guest, huge guest for the day, JT's brother, Chris Parr. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Christopher Hampton Parr.
Oh, your middle name's Hampton.
The legend.
Dude, that's awesome. That's a great middle name.
Thanks, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I got made fun of it for
Really?
Not too bad.
Grade school, middle school, Hampton.
Right.
It's just different, so.
What did people say?
No, it was stupid. Just, that's your middle name? That's about it. Well, you called me Hammy a lot, but that was endearing.
I was just trying to make it happen. Sometimes you're like, hey, I think I want to give this person a nickname, see if it catches on. I was like, about Hammy or Hambone. What about what was that thing I would always say? Bitch and hoe.
Yeah, bitch and hoe. That's what he called me that. It was like a go-to.
When was that? What?
But it wasn't like a dig.
No, it was like
I'm just an idiot.
It was always very loving.
It was just it was like almost like gibberish that I like to say. Mm-hmm. I would just go, bitch and hoe.
What was the age range of this?
What, like 12 to 14 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Kind of the, my intellectual peak.
You're 12, yeah. Like me, 10.
You were 10, 22 months younger.
Yeah, JT slept you guys slept in the same bed for a while, right? Or you sort of comforted JT? Or do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, well, his room was like...
I didn't molest him. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was all above board. It was all consensual. My room was really bright, and we just always hung out in there.
Yeah.
My computer worked. His desktop broke early, so he would just like come into my room to surf the internet.
I had a lot of viruses.
And his room was gray was the main color, which is just, it wasn't the best choice by my parents for making it like a room that JT would want to hang out in.
It wasn't very like bright.
It was like,
it didn't feel like a teenager's room. It was like, my parents, you know, they were into design and stuff. So like they would, it was kind of like gothic, I guess. It had a lot of like sculptures and stuff. Yeah. My brother's was more like a hacienda room or something.
That's cool.
Or like New Mexico. It had like
a lot of tans and wood. It was nice. It was,
you had a great room. We used to hang in there like 12 deep. We'd have like 12 guys in there. Just dance party.
So he would sleep in my bed, but we'd be hanging out in my room anyways. And then eventually he just started sleeping in his own bed, but my room was still a hangout room. So if my friends were over or his friends were over or if both of them were over, we were always in my room.
Yeah, you would come home sometimes and be me and like 5 of the homies just listening to music in your room. I don't know why that happened, but it just had better feng shui.
Yeah, and then once
maybe it was you, dude.
Library,
maybe it was that you're so cool. Like you imparted your coolness into the fabric of the room.
Couldn't hurt.
Right.
You know? So yeah, we did that a lot, which was cool.
You are very cool. You weren't always so cool though. When you were little, like 5, you weren't that cool. But then you got really cool.
How was he not cool at 5?
He was just so sweet. He was so sweet. But you know, like,
it's like cool. Too sweet that wasn't cool?
Right, like, because, you know, well, actually, I don't know. No, he was cool, because, like, our older friends always liked him more than me. And, like, when we'd wrestle, they'd root for you to win.
Yeah, it's because you were loud, you know? So then it was always like, I feel like they wanted to cut you down because they saw you, like, being loud and boisterous. That they're like, fuck this kid. JT, let's mess with him a little bit.
Right.
Did you sort of respond to having JT as an older brother? So like, all right, I'm going to be a little bit more chill and sort of go with the flow. I feel like that's kind of the case with the older versus younger. That's sort of definitely what happened with me.
Yeah, I was never going to match him 100% of the time. It was like I'd have moments. I'm really loud. That's like my voice projects. I get really excited and I talk really loud, but I'd say overall JT's just at a higher level for most of the time, and his highs are way higher than my highs. But he was also like naked all the time as like a little kid. Yeah. And I just wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, what do you think stopped you from doing that? Just decency?
My small piece. And then, you know, I don't know. I didn't even moon as much as you did. But nobody did.
Few did.
Yeah.
Few could keep up.
What was your average mooning per week?
I mean, it was more like, what was my average not mooning? I was always either naked or I was just walking around the house in like boxers or tighty whities and nothing else. So I was always pretty close to being naked. And I still like, you know, like when I did mushrooms at the park a couple weeks ago, I was in, you know, my short little swim trunks, and then I was like, man, it'd be nice to be naked. And then I looked around and there's, you know, families and shit, and I was like, all right, buddy, we're not doing that.
Did you get shamed a lot for
it? Sometimes. At surf camp that one time.
I don't remember.
Remember we were coming back from like Carl's Jr. and I was like mooning people in the back. And
first year or second year we went?
First year, the better year. And then no disrespect to Brooks who came the second year and Greg. But they kicked me out of the van and they made me like run.
Oh, right.
Oh, really?
They made me run like a couple miles back to the campsite.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it was almost like, I felt like Cersei when they make her do like the shame walk.
Right.
It kind of had that kind of tenor to it.
Oh, were you naked when you ran back?
No, but they were just, everyone in the van was like laughing at me. They're like, oh, look, you gotta run now, you idiot. You stupid shit. Oh, look at him run. And they were like, come on, run, Rocky, run. Like stuff like that. Yeah. And I didn't like that attention. It felt a bit too pointed.
Yeah. I think I got shamed out. I had a naked phase for probably like 2 or 3 years when I was 7 to 9. But I think I got shamed out of it because when I first met my sister-in-law, first thing I did when I first met her is I turned around and I showed her my beehole. And my brother got really upset with me. And he's like, we're getting married.
Because he was intimidated?
Yeah. Because I think she saw my beehole before she saw his.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, my wife hasn't even seen that.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the only beehole in her life.
Yeah, so then I didn't really get naked that much after that. So
That's good.
it's a shame. No, it's not good.
All right, get naked.
Yeah.
We won't shame you. You can get naked right now. We could blur it out and shit.
If you
Should we
want.
make this a naked podcast?
Yeah, we could do that.
Aaron?
Aaron's not into it. All right, we'll holster it then.
Aaron's a dad.
Did you ever get naked, Aaron?
With buddies or anything?
Yeah.
No.
With buddies?
No. I was always the big guy, like, just always the tallest and always the whitest.
Okay.
And the only white guy, so.
Oh, all your
Oh,
homies were
interesting.
POCs?
I grew up, 3 miles from the Mexican border, so yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good. Great. It's better.
I mean, it's isolating in its own way.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Right. Did they call you, like, the white boy or gringo or anything like that?
Sure. Yeah.
My Mexican friends used to call me payaso for clown. They just go,
Really?
"What's up, payaso?"
Hmm.
Yeah. And it felt like a term of endearment.
Yeah.
Yeah, my nickname was always Captain America because of being the white guy.
Nice.
Captain America.
Yeah.
You'd be a good captain.
Which
America.
now,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, totally cool.
Yeah, you'd carry
Yeah.
that shield with pride and dignity.
Mhm.
If you're a Captain America that gets naked, though, that's...
That would be the ultimate, I think.
Can you imagine
You could always hide behind a shield, though, if you had to.
Yeah, Chris Evans
Kids
showing
are-
up just naked.
Be
Avengers
interesting.
assemble.
Yeah, do they show any butts in those movies? Because even that would be nice.
They came close
Yeah.
with Thor, right? But I don't think they ever showed his can.
No.
Like seeing Hemsworth or Chris Evans' butt cheeks would be
Did you
cool.
Did you see Hemsworth said that he felt like he doesn't get enough respect because he's so jacked?
Really? He said that
Yeah,
recently?
he said if he did more body transformation in his acting, people would think of him as like a Christian Bale type.
Hmm.
But because he's so dedicated to fitness, that people kind of don't take him as seriously as some of those other actors.
Well, I think out of all those actors, the Avengers, he's the most like a real life superhero, I'd say, in terms of physique. I mean, The Rock is probably more so, but he's not in the movies. But he doesn't have the ruggedness though that Kurt Russell or Bruce Willis have. I don't think.
He's a little prettier.
Yeah, he's more what's the term?
Cartoonish?
You know when the people just have like big biceps and triceps and like the glam muscles. He's pure like glam
He's
muscle.
like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Doesn't
yeah.
look functional.
Yeah. Whereas I think Arnold had that, but a little bit more. What do you think Arnold has more of?
I think he just probably has a little more charisma. I think physically he's even less relatable, I would
Yeah,
say.
I think
Yeah.
he looks more alien.
Right.
Like he's in more like the Rock mold where it's like these people don't look like humans.
Right.
And we need to craft a movie around that fact.
Like
Because-
the bad guys have to comment on it and be like, "Look at your body, you're indestructible."
Mm.
But not if I push this button, which will detonate a poison inside your head that will render you immobile,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to kill your family. And you're like,
Right.
"Bro,
It's never just like
No.
a guy going through a divorce.
yeah." Arnold doesn't go through divorces.
Yeah.
I was going to say, was Arnold in Mission Impossible 3?
Right, that
That's
is the thing. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
That was a good fight scene when Tom Cruise is like having a headache,
Yeah.
but he's like shaking it off and throwing elbow
Such
strikes.
elbows.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I almost think he gets too fucked up in those movies. Like in like the fourth or fifth one when he's like falling on all those cars and stuff. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like too much where he still gets up. You know what I mean?
He gets ragdolled a lot. That's kind of
Yeah, he like
Yeah.
his
straps
thing
himself
now.
into the seatbelt and then drives off
Yeah.
essentially a cliff just to land
Yeah.
and just get out and hit the button to cancel it.
What's your favorite Mission Impossible?
Oh man, it's probably for Ghost Protocol because I
Ghost
feel like
Protocol.
that one set the template for the subsequent ones the best. Maybe this most recent one that was also very cool.
That was almost like the ultimatum one where they're like, we have like narrowed down exactly what it is we do here.
Yeah, and I've just seen Ghost Protocol way more times. That one just feels fresher and cooler, but it also was like the OG of like, wow, this is what these movies should be.
Hmm.
And when I saw it, I mean, I was like, it blew my mind. I was having so much fun.
Right.
This actually segues nicely into. We were going to do a segment today where we're going to draft our top leading men of all time.
You know,
And then so we're not drafting them and inheriting their their catalog of films. We're drafting them as if we were going to make more movies with these guys in their prime. And we'll do the ladies another time, but today we're sticking to the fellers. Chris, since you are our guest, do you want to do the honors and do? Well, you know what though? I know you're going to draft my guy first, and I don't want to lose him. So I could. No, I can't. You take him. But go ahead. You go first.
You should be polite. I'm gonna take Denzel.
I knew you were gonna do it.
Damn,
I knew you were gonna do it, and that was my number one pick.
Shit.
I know.
That was my number one pick.
I was worried
crap.
you were gonna take it because it would mess up the whole roster that I could build. He's the number one.
We're each gonna get 3.
He's just the best. He's cool. He's such a good actor. He's so badass. He can be sexy. He can do it all. He's just the man. I love Denzel.
He's the best because I think he's a movie star, but like of the movie stars, he's also the best actor of the movie stars. Like he can do like Shakespeare and drama, and he can. There's kind of nothing he can't do, except for maybe play like a milquetoast character. I don't know if he could do that, but you don't really need that for what we're drafting for. But
He's
yeah,
not like a puncher, though.
what do you mean?
Like, he's not a hand-to-hand fighter in his movies.
I
much.
don't think he needs that. He's such an alpha. He doesn't need.
He
is.
He can
And I think
punch.
he could
The
be.
Hurricane.
Well, yeah.
He's literally a puncher.
boxing movie. But I mean, like,
Well, he's a puncher.
when he's in an action movie, it's always with guns. He's
It's
not,
more gunplay.
Yeah, he's not duking it out with the.
But there's still some fight scenes, like virtuosity.
Yeah.
Has to,
Sure.
get in there a bit with the.
So who would you say is a better puncher? Because I don't disagree, but then I don't know. Is there another guy who is a better puncher of the people we're pulling from?
Harrison Ford.
The guy I'm gonna pick-
Harrison Ford's a
The guy
puncher,
I'm gonna
yeah.
pick is a
Tom
puncher.
Cruise.
Is a puncher. The guy I'm gonna pick is a puncher. I got a surprise pick coming.
So wait, who's next?
Chad's up.
Oh, me? Are
Yeah.
you sure?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Number 2. Harrison Ford.
That's a good one. He was on my list.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
always crushes it, and he does. He has a pretty wide array of He's got Air Force One, Something Lies Beneath. Is that what it's called?
What Lies Beneath?
What Lies Beneath, Blade Runner, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. He's done it all. And every time he's what's up?
Fugitive.
Every time he's in a movie, I get fired up. I just love watching him. So.
Witness rocks.
Witness, yeah.
I just rewatched Air Force One the other day. It's
Yeah.
so great. It's so inspiring. He
Yeah.
stays on the plane because his wife and kid are on there.
Yeah.
And they keep being like, a lot of the logic doesn't you're kind of like, how long is this guy going to be able to hide from 12 terrorists on a plane?
Yeah.
Like they know he's underneath and they're like, we can't get to him. I'm like, he's got 12 square feet where he can hide. But
He's wily.
his tenacity and his loyalty to his fam, I don't know. It's very inspiring.
Oh yeah, I remember my mom. My mom would get so fired up. She's like, "This is Harrison Ford. He's hot."
He is.
That him and Brad Pitt. She's like, "Yeah, he's hot."
We will not let go of Radicich. And then they go, then I kill your daughter.
Yeah.
And then he goes, no, honey. And then he goes, 1, 2. And he goes, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah,
and he sounds like such a sweet dad when he says it.
Yeah.
I try to think about presidents that we've had who would actually stay behind and do that as well.
Yeah.
And, Uncle Joe is just way too long in the dude.
Yeah.
He'd forget where he was.
Yeah.
And be I think he would want to. I think, it seems like you've even seen those texts.
Yeah.
Things. He seems like he's a pretty loyal father.
Yeah.
But I think Trump would get off the plane.
Yeah.
And he would expect his kids to, too. I don't think he'd expect them to stay for him. I think Barack would stay.
Yeah.
I think Barack would stay for Michelle. I don't think he would bail.
For sure. Trump for Melania. He grabs his shoe. He's like, later, dudes.
Yeah, he'd be out pretty quick. He'd blow up the plane with that still in it. And he'd be like, look, this is just, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah, we just don't negotiate.
We just don't negotiate with
I don't know what to tell
we
you.
don't take a back step.
I can
Right.
see him skydiving with just the smirk on his face.
And his hair just flopping. Yeah. And he'd brag. He'd brag
won
once he
again.
landed. I'm not even trying to be political. This is genuinely what I think, just psychologically. He'd land and he'd be like, I'm the only president in history to survive a terrorist attack on Air Force One. I think Bush would have stayed. Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, right?
No, I think
would've.
Clinton would have bailed. Clinton would have bailed.
Yeah, later.
Yeah.
He's like finally
Yeah.
I think Hillary would have found a way to bail too. Yeah.
He would have felt really bad about it, though.
Clinton would have felt
Bill
bad.
would have been like,
Yeah.
man, I shouldn't have done. But he always would make the decision to bail. But
Yeah.
he would convince himself to
He might be able to talk us
feel
out of
really
it too.
bad.
Like we'd be like, hey, you shouldn't have bailed, and then he'd get into it and be like, you know what, he was right to bail. Yeah. He looked so happy.
Reagan would have bailed, but he would have told everyone he didn't bail.
Yeah.
Like his World War II service.
With Trump,
That's good.
Gary Oldman's the villain, right?
He's very good.
And he's like, I kill your daughter. He's like, Tiffany. He's like, yeah, cool.
Right.
Yeah, wait, which one?
Yeah, wait.
All right, my number one pick, I'm going way off the beaten path, but he's a star and a very good actor. Chris, I'm gonna give you one guess. Who do you think I'm doing?
Wait.
Okay, I'll give you this
Number
hint.
one. Wow.
Greg Giebel doesn't think he's that great of an actor.
I have no idea, but Colin Farrell?
No, he didn't even make my list, although I love Colin Farrell. But he's like,
Too far down?
yeah, we're talking about a different tier here.
Who doesn't
Sorry.
Greg like?
Sean Penn.
Oh.
I'm going with Sean Penn.
Wow.
I love Sean Penn. He's such a good actor. He's a total wild card. And here's the thing. He's a puncher.
Oh, he's definitely a puncher.
Like a real life puncher. Like he
life.
boxes and he beats the shit out of paparazzi.
Third overall, you're going Sean Penn.
I think so. I like Sean Penn a lot.
What's your favorite Sean Penn movie?
What's my favorite Sean Penn movie? For what we're talking about, it's such a minor film compared to like the Denzel and Harrison Ford stuff. But like, what is my favorite? I was gonna say State of Grace, but that's not my favorite. But that's like a movie star part.
Yeah.
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys is
Bad
awesome.
Boys is so badass, and he's very badass in it.
I've never seen it.
What?
He's
And
in Juvenile
fighting.
Hall.
He's in Juvenile Hall and S.A. Morale. So he goes to Juvenile Hall
Oh, this is Bad Boys. Okay.
for beating up this dude who assaulted his girlfriend, and then the guy who assaulted his girlfriend ends up at juvie with him. And it's them. It's got great fight scenes. They're really like, it's a pretty brutal movie. But so Mystic River, he's very good in. Milk, he's good in. None of those are like my favorite movies.
I think he's great in I Am Sam. And I'll go on the record to say that.
The Interpreter, he's pretty badass in that. Look, I just don't think he's gotten the parts because he's just too wily. But I think Sean Penn is my guy. If I was starting my movies tomorrow and I was like, they're like, you get a prime Sean Penn, I was like, we can make a bunch of cool shit.
He's awesome. He's so intense. I love that. It's making me rethink what to pick next.
He's very intense, and he can be funny. When
Has he been funny? What are some good examples?
He did this Woody Allen movie,
Spicoli?
Sweet and Lowdown.
Sweet and Lowdown. He's really funny in.
Plays a mean guitar.
What else is he funny in? Not 21 Grams. Oh, not funny in that.
I never saw it.
He's good in
so
Colors.
Too intense. Colors is good.
He's funny in Fast Times, obviously.
Fast Times. Narrates well in Dogtown and Z-Boys. Oh, he's funny in What Just Happened, which is like, light satire. But that's actually a really good movie too. And then, but yeah, I'm gonna roll with Sean Penn. I wanted to go off the beaten path. I'm going Sean. But dude, I fucked up because I know who you guys are going next, and I should have just picked him.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of surprised you went with Harrison Ford.
There was someone I was gonna go before, but then I was
You might get him here though.
yeah.
Man, I don't even know if...
You might get him here because unless my
thing
brother
is-
takes him, my brother might take him right here.
I'm just gonna-
number 2 pick.
I think
I think my team's going to win because... And sorry, guys, but I'm going to go with Tom Hanks.
Oh no! I don't think
Hanks.
that was it.
Just to really round out the team because now I'm doing... with those
Is
two
Tom
guys,
Hanks too soft though?
that was my.
No.
He's not sexy.
Right, but he's a leading... But think about all the parts that are Tom
mean,
Hanks
he-
parts.
But you just
Crushed
lost.
parts where
You
he's
just
like-
lost every action movie. You can't make action movies.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But you
got
gain,
Denzel for that.
Exactly. And you gain every movie where it's like he's just a dad with a family. You know
Right.
what I mean? He's just like, oh, this ordinary man who's thrown into an extraordinary situation and he's just got to step up and he's super funny.
So you needed someone relatable. You wanted someone relatable. You have
I'm
Denzel.
trying to
now you want
play the
someone
game a
you
little
want an
bit,
everyman.
and like now I got the breadth that I got with those two guys.
Well, maybe I'll get my
think
guy.
you guys are screwed.
Maybe I'll get my guy. Who are you going with?
Brad Pitt.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I was talking to my dad. I watched Fury again last night. I was talking to my dad about. We were talking about because we were just discussing like the budget. You got paid like $20 million to do that. But I'm like, that's worth it. If you paid $20 million for Brad Pitt, you're gonna get your money's worth. I mean, I can't think of any.
You're definitely going to make more than 20 back.
Yeah, and he just. I know. I think he just shines in almost every role. I love watching him. he makes me he makes me happy watching him, and he's sexy.
Can't argue it. He's beautiful.
I think I
He's
picked.
great.
I mean, he's an icon. He's of all the guys we've picked, he's probably the most one. Like if you see a photo of him, you're like,
Yeah.
that's an icon.
Yeah, I mean,
like if I see him on a poster,
Yeah.
that probably gets me the most excited to go see the movie.
And even in like 12 Years a Slave, his he just crushes little cameos like that.
He's good. He's got a good heart in that movie.
So far, all Oscar winners.
All right, well,
Everybody.
I probably should have gone with this guy first, and I could have got. The thing is, I could have got Sean Penn with like my third pick.
Right.
You know what I mean? I kind of didn't pick smart that way. But I like that I got a surefire Oscar contender in my one hole, and I thought you guys would take this guy, Tom Cruise.
Right.
Of course.
Huge.
Of course.
Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible. And then I'm taking prime Tom Cruise. So to me, that's like probably like 89 to 94 or something like that. And you're getting where he could do action movies, but you get like A Few Good Men and Jerry Maguire and kind of like him at his like most polished dramatic actor stage.
Jerry Maguire's 96.
Oh, is it really? Oh, damn. Thank you.
94 is Interview with a Vampire.
Okay.
Not bad,
test him
Tom.
on Cruise.
Not bad.
Not bad, but
not-
I prefer him and Jerry.
Not
Jerry's like his
not
most
great
relatable
Brad
part,
either.
basically.
What?
It's Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in Interview.
Yeah.
It's both kind of Brad Pitt's hair in that is just it's so not flattering. It's probably the ugliest he's looked in a movie.
Which movie?
He's still pretty hot, though, dude.
Oh, Interview with a Vampire.
12 Monkeys.
Made me want to be a vampire.
But even 12 Monkeys is like, at least he's got like weird
Or
energy,
California.
You know what I mean?
California with a K. He's a serial killer. He's like a weirdo, like degenerate.
I wrote down Tom Cruise, but then I think I was caught up on latest Tom Cruise. I wasn't thinking about prime Tom Cruise because the latest Tom Cruise is more kind of that brand, like rock kind of.
Right, where the movies are kind of the same.
Right.
Versus, like,
Kinda
That's why I'm
same.
going earlier
He was
Tom
doing-
Cruise.
Yeah,
where
earlier
he's-
Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Where he's doing like a little more Oscar stuff. He's trying to work with all the best directors.
Yeah. Like Magnolia, Tom Cruise, Vanilla Sky.
That's like the end of him being like, all right, I'm going to do like interesting dramas and stuff. And I guess it just wasn't feeling good for him.
Yeah.
Dude, Damon
Interesting.
told a story about him on Bill Simmons where he was like, how'd you do that thing where you ran across like the world's tallest building? He's like, I've been wanting to do it for years. So we bring in the stunt coordinator. I go, how do we do it? He goes, too dangerous. So I found another stunt coordinator.
I worked on some of that footage when it still had wires. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You did?
Whoa. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How'd this just come up? How'd it look?
It's still, I mean, even with wires, dude, it's still fucking, it's amazing that he did that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my thing. Not only do I have a
so
great
hot,
actor,
so
I've
tall.
also got the best stuntman in the world on my squad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that Ghost Protocol when he's in Dubai when he's running? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. When you see how high up he is.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Chris, who you going at number 3?
There's so many to choose from. Hold on. I think I know who I want because I actually have them 1, 2, 3 on my list. Yeah, I'm gonna go Christian Bale.
Dude, nice.
Oh, nice. You got a wild
I was just
card.
looking at him on my list. I was like, he's good.
You talked about it earlier, body transformation, but he's also such a good actor. Like that's definitely a part. It's always impressive when people do that. Sometimes people get more credit than maybe they should, but whatever. But he's just an amazing actor. He obviously can do. I mean, he was Batman and he was good. He's just he's the man, and he can do so many. He can do anything.
I think he's one of the best. And he picks good movies. He's always good. I'd like to see him but you got Tom Hanks for the everyman stuff, so you don't need an everyman.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I don't know if he could do that stuff, but you don't need it because you got Hanks.
Has Bale been funny?
Yeah, he's been funny. He's really funny in The Fighter,
And The
right?
Fighter is really funny.
Right.
And in all the David O. Russell movies, because I think he's pretty funny in American Hustle,
is,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of like...
And just him doing his comb over in America, like that alone is hilarious.
Mhm.
He slipped a disc doing the hunch for that movie.
His commitment
really?
is almost what makes it funny.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
not
he fucked up
necessarily
his
his,
back.
like... Yeah, he fucked up his back.
Because
He got like a herniated disc from just pretending to be huge.
that's the guy I want on my squad, dude.
I'm still laughing at the image of Trump just bailing out of Air Force One.
Just with like a slight smile on his face, knowing he won.
That's smirk where he just, he's just coming in. Oh man, that's so funny.
Chad, who's
Me?
your third? I think you have to, right?
Oh, now I'm in my head.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Go. Forget my.
I was thinking Robert De Niro.
Oh, nice.
Cause I got Harrison Ford, I got Brad Pitt, kind of too all American, and then De Niro, the gangster stuff, and he's funny.
He's really
Meet the
funny.
Parents.
I mean, he's probably
He's iconic too.
by a lot of metrics, he's probably the best actor of all time in
Yeah.
terms of like body of work, and then like he does the body transformation stuff. He can be funny. He's great in dramas. He's good in supporting roles. He kind of, he might be the best.
Yeah.
And the body of work is huge.
Huge.
He's just done so much stuff.
I don't know if he has like the leading man coolness that some other people, but you have Brad Pitt for that.
Yeah.
If you just need someone to be cool, you got Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you ever watched De Niro and stuff. Maybe in Heat.
Yeah,
and maybe in
pretty cool.
Goodfellas. But I don't think you really watched De Niro and you're like, oh, I wish I was that guy.
Totally.
But you have Brad Pitt, and that he's kind of the apotheosis of that.
Yeah. Who were you thinking I was gonna say?
P-Dubs.
Oh, right.
Patrick Wilson.
That was
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
hilarious joke, but you can't make that on this podcast.
that's a given for me.
Right. We'll call this the honorary Paul Walker draft.
Yeah.
Right. He would have been all of our number one picks, so we're going with all these guys in his stead. So De Niro.
De Niro.
I like that.
I thought Chris was going to go De Niro.
I botched my whole thing. I don't know.
There.
I'm gonna trade Sean Penn now for other guys. I don't know why I came in hot with that. All right, so here's my thing. So you guys have your three. Should we do another round? No, we're good at three.
I'm down.
Yeah.
There's so many, because like
so
the
many.
people that are still on the board, it's crazy.
Yeah, maybe we need to do one more round. All right, so here's my thing. And I'm gonna burn this one. I'm just gonna say his name. But I want to go with Jack Nicholson. But is Sean Penn kind of Division 2 Jack Nicholson?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Right? They're kind of fill the same lane, right? They're like the wild card leading man. They have kind of like an anti-authority like edge to them.
Yeah, a little
edge.
too similar, I think.
I think there's like
yeah.
there's still like several bona
I should've gone
fide
with Jack
movie
first.
stars that are left. But you know, it's your team.
But I think if I'm making new movies with these guys, it's like Jack and Sean can basically play all the same parts.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
literally, when Sean Penn directed his first movie, Jack's the star.
right, and I think Jack, when he directed a movie,
The Pledge?
Yeah.
yeah,
Never saw it.
they have very similar energies. Same with Christian Slater.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. All
Got him.
right, number 3. Okay. All right, so what I think I need here, because I want, man.
It's our who's your second?
My second was Tom Cruise.
Right.
So I had a strong
Okay.
2 pick.
Strong too,
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I put
There's
some
there's some big guys out
I
there.
put some weirdos on this list, man. Not weirdos.
I know what you
But like
should do.
Paul Giamatti, right? Like you probably shouldn't pick him, but like I love him.
Paul Giamatti. I know one you should pick.
Throw it to me. I'm open.
Daniel Day.
Yeah, you know what? And because that is kind of the lane I was thinking. I was like, do I need... Because Tom Cruise can kind of do it because he did like Last Samurai.
Yeah.
I'm like, but do I need someone who can do like
And you love
historical
Gangs of New
stuff?
York.
Right.
Yeah.
But with him, I just don't know if he's enough of a movie star for me.
Yeah,
I love Daniel
he's-
Day-Lewis.
He's kind of just a pure actor.
Yeah, and every time you go into one of his movies, you kind of go in ready to be tired.
Right.
Like, you're like, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be like the most commitment and precise acting I've ever seen. But I don't know if I'm going to come out of it feeling like jazzed.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to come out of it being like, that was art.
Yeah.
And
Right. Phantom Thread is like
it's
so good, and I'm also like, why? Like this is so
Yeah.
specific, and I'm make whatever you want, PTA, but like I don't. It feels just odd that you chose this, but if it's amazing,
That's like that's how I felt after was it Master? Well, Phil
The
Seymour-
Master.
The Master. Yeah, I kind of came out of that. I was like, oh,
no, dude, any PTA movie that you see in theaters,
yeah.
you're basically like, wow, I think I like learned about art, and I think I need to go home and watch like Nickelodeon right
Yeah,
now.
I'd take a shower. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how we talk about the greatest filmmaker of our generation on here. We're like, hey, dude, just relax a bit, dude.
or like watch like
Yeah.
the first half of Boogie Nights.
Yeah, just watch Boogie Nights so you can...
but don't finish it because then
Yeah.
it gets.
I do that with a lot of movies. That Blow,
Yeah.
American Made, even
Well,
good
yeah.
Tom Cruise movie where afterwards you just want to go drive around your car.
And the thing is, there are real life stories of people who were drug dealers and kind of got away with it.
Yeah.
But we can't make those movies because it's immoral.
Yeah.
So you have to do the third act fall.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm like, how about you just find the guy who kind of made it, then moved his money into like legitimate businesses and is kind of just growing old playing golf right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be a good movie, but I think people would be like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Like they have to pay. I'm like,
But it's true. Sometimes, I imagine. Somebody
Yeah.
have to.
and I'm like, it's a fucking movie. He's a good guy. I've been watching him for 2 hours. He's the good
Yeah.
guy.
He transported things that people wanted.
Yeah.
That's all he did.
Yeah, the real
Right.
criminal is the
End user.
system that oppresses
The
nonviolent
CIA.
offenders. Exactly.
The CIA enabling these dudes.
They just can't make money off of it. All right, so I got to pick. My third pick, I'm going to go... I got to do it. Even I got some redundancies, but I got to do it. I'm going Russell Crowe.
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great one.
I love a prime Russell Crowe. The thing about Russell Crowe is between all the actors we've picked, it's probably the starkest contrast between prime and post-prime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just hit like a period in his life where he's like, dude, I just don't give a fuck, okay?
Yeah.
I'm getting hammered. I'm watching my Aussie Rules football team. I'm heckling the players, and I'm just eating whatever pastries we got down here.
But I gotta say, it's probably the biggest movie star move I think I've seen.
Right.
Right.
It's very Brando-esque.
He doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't care so much. He's got that much confidence where people still are like, he's the man.
He is the man.
Yeah.
And his prime movies, like when he came out of like LA Confidential, and then he, you know, if you go way back, you do Romper Stomper, although that's kind of not like a movie star movie. And then you know, you got Gladiator, Master and Commander, all that stuff. He's just
Beautiful mind.
beautiful. He's just cool, man. He's just cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Russell Crowe.
I love it. I love Master and Commander. I didn't like it when
great.
I first saw it.
I felt the same way.
Well, because I wanted Gladiator again.
Yeah.
And then it didn't deliver on that, although the one action scene is cool, or like 1.5. But then you just see it's about friendship, you know? It's just Paul Bettany and him just being friends and just them just on this mission together. And it's lovely. It's beautiful. I love that movie.
Well, like the first scene, they sort of ramp it up to where you're like, oh, this is gonna be intense, you know, naval warfare movie, and then they go to the Galapagos and they're just like exploring. And you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, they don't see the bad guys
meditative.
for like another
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then basically all the action scenes were put into the 2-minute trailer.
Yeah.
It was kind of a disservice to the movie, whoever cut the trailer.
Yeah.
Because they were like, do you want to call Napoleon your king?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we're going to watch the fucking French get fucked up in this shit.
Yeah.
Then you watch and they're like studying lizards, and you're like, okay.
It's like The Grey is like that, where it's like you think like they marketed the movie as like they're gonna be it's Liam Neeson fighting wolves like the whole time, and it's just not that.
Right.
Oh, that movie
Yeah.
rocks.
People get mad at that movie too because they're like, that's not actually how wolves operate. They don't have dens. They don't track people down. I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't go to the movie to learn about wolves, dude.
Right. And if anything, I think wolves are cool based on that movie. I'm not gonna go out and kill any. You know what I mean? Because like they're obviously too gnarly for.
Yeah, it's not like Jaws where
Right.
everyone saw Jaws and was like, let's go murk sharks.
Yeah.
How weird is that, dude?
These motherfuckers, man.
Very strange. Chris, who's your fourth pick? Your surprise fourth pick.
I'm torn.
So who do you have right now?
I got Denzel, Tom Hanks, Christian Bale.
All right, it's very strong.
Yeah.
It's very very well rounded. I think you could go a lot of directions here.
I know, and that's the thing. Like, I was just watching Walk Hard. John C. Reilly's amazing. He hasn't starred in a lot, but I think he's hilarious. The guy can sing. He can do drama. He's funny.
But if he's the lead in something, if it's got a big budge, I don't know if I want to see that.
Right.
If it's small budge, I'm all in.
I think the thing that man, it's like I might just start
You forgot
spitting
to
out
mention
names.
that Russell Crowe is a hell of a singer as well.
Dude, well, actually, not a good singer, but triumphant singer. Because
Yeah.
he got my brother and me watched that together where he got so hammered for Les Mis. Everyone's like, this guy can't sing for shit. Not as bad as Pierce Brosnan got it, but more high profile.
He is
And then-
better than Pierce.
But then at the Oscars when they sang it, he comes in last and sings
Epic.
his solo, and he's proud. And I was at home with my brother. We were like, yeah, stick it to him, Russell. You can do it. He sounded pretty good.
No fear, dude.
For
He's out
the
there doing
king,
it.
da, da, da. And I was like, yeah, Russell.
He's
That-
very
that
proud of how he cannot sing well.
Yeah.
100 million people tell you suck, and then you go hammer them at the Oscars, and you say, well, listen to this. Get 30 more seconds of me sucking, assholes.
That's why he's awesome.
Yeah,
I
suck
stand
on
by.
this.
I stand by
Yeah.
the performance. I like the movie.
I liked him too. I do. Honestly, I thought Hugh Jackman was a little too intense.
A lot of people that I don't know care about the musical are like, I remember. I think it was Dan Collins. The fact that he sang this song like this, just total crap, dude. The original song. I didn't know this
About Russell Crowe.
about Hugh Jackman.
Oh, so he got
about
some-
like the Let Him Live one, where like the.
So he got hammered too.
Yeah, but I think in some circles, I remember like
It's
when
tough.
the trailer came out. It's like a
You're not
like a-
casting Broadway people.
like
You're
a
casting
theater.
actors.
A friend who was in theater was like, "Do you see Anne Hathaway butchering that song?" I was like, "That sounded pretty good."
Yeah, she won an Oscar.
I don't know.
Well, I guess
It
most
did in one
critics
take.
are like theater kids too, right?
This was like an actual theater kid, so I don't.
Was this the one you dated?
Yes.
Maybe she was just mad at you.
We
This is how we
agreed.
figured it
We
out.
agreed on most movie things. You know, our movie taste was pretty aligned.
That's nice.
It was cool. I'm deciding between if I can do that. I kind of like wild card, like Chalamet, but there's Nick Cage.
young hitter.
Wow.
Oh, or Nick Cage. I didn't even think of Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Oh, I would have taken him
Rob
already.
Pattinson. I love all these dudes.
But you know what's true? If you get a Chalamet, and like I guess I could have drafted Tom Cruise for his like 80 to 85 range and gotten like a young person in there. But I think that's a valuable role to fill, is to have someone to do the young roles.
And I don't know. I bought him in The King.
He was
I thought
great.
I thought he was badass.
He's really good.
But Nick Cage is also the man, and I do
You
love
got Christian
Pattinson.
Bale. I feel like Christian Bale can do most of what Nick Cage would do.
Right. All right. I'll go Chalamet.
That's a good one.
It's a strong lineup.
Yeah. It's good. Good
Not a
young
lot
buck.
going on there.
Be cool to have Oscar Isaac on the team, though.
Yeah,
I do like
it would be cooler
Be-
than Chalamet.
I think Chalamet's better.
I don't know.
I
It's a
have to
tough
disagree
one.
on that one.
If you-
I'm gonna go. I'll stick to Chalamet, but
I think Bale could do whatever.
I just wanted to honorable
Isaac's gonna
mention
do.
Oscar Isaac because he's a cool dude. At least he seems that way.
All right, Chad, who's your fourth pick?
I think I gotta go with Leo.
Dude.
Got it.
I think every time you see Leo in a trailer, people get pumped. Like, I'm gonna see that movie, and he's funny too. I think he's decently funny, and he crushed it. And also in character roles like Django.
He's so good in.
I think he's
He
really
crushed it,
funny.
Django.
Yeah,
I think he's really, really funny.
yeah,
Like in Once Upon a Time, he's hilarious.
it's hilarious. Wolf of Wall Street, he's funny.
Yeah.
He's so
Super
funny.
funny.
Titanic crushed it.
Gilbert Grape, he's so funny.
Gilbert Grape. What else is he in? Aviator, and then Catch Me If You Can. That was great.
Catch Me If You Can's like the perfect movie for him, especially at that age where he's just like
Right.
he's
Yeah.
fun. He gets to do so much.
He still
you
gets to
know,
look like. I mean, he's always had kind of. He's kind of moved himself away, but he had that like kind of really
Boyish.
angelic
Yeah.
face.
I was actually
Yeah.
annoyed when he seemed like he was actively trying to move away from it.
Well, now it feels more authentic. Like now, when I see him playing like a crabby person, I'm like, oh, you're like in your 40s now.
'Cause he
but,
has a couple
But when he was like
movies.
25 in Gangs, he was like, oh, I have a goatee now. I was like, you still look like a kid
Yeah.
to me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Romeo
I
and
was-
Juliet too.
Right.
Love that movie.
Yeah, of course.
But just
Aaron.
Titanic when she's getting lowered down and the fireworks go off behind him.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
So what's your four person rotation right now?
Okay, so I got Brad, I got Harrison Ford, I got Robert De Niro, and I got Leo.
Dude, that's pretty killer.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's tough. Mine is getting cream, but okay, I'm gonna go.
that might swing it. That I was leaning
Dude.
one way, and it might be.
Yeah,
swinging
but I
the
was
other way.
thinking Chris is gonna.
Chalamet, you know, there's not.
Did he lose you a little bit with Chalamet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, so mine. Here's the guys I still
That's
had
hard.
on my
I mean,
list.
that's a much longer legacy than Chalamet's.
Right. Yeah, Chalamet.
Dune's gonna rule, I think.
He's like
give him 10
this is like
years.
trading like a farm prospect
Right,
for like
right,
a
right.
proven Cy
Right.
Younger.
Yeah.
But whose filmography is also it's very good already.
It is, and he's got Dune coming out, so he's got big stuff coming. Okay, so here are the other guys I have on my list. I had Edward Norton,
Love him.
Matt Damon, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Kurt Russell.
We didn't even mention Clooney, which is crazy.
Oh right.
Dog,
Yeah, Clooney's great, but
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, Dustin Hoffman,
Pacino.
Al Pacino,
There's like
Brando.
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, Robert Redford.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to go. I got my pick, and I think it fits in nicely with who I got. I'm going to go in with someone who has gone too soon. I'm going with Heath Ledger
Love it.
in my 4th spot.
It's a great one.
Because also, dude, he had incredible versatility. Like, he teen heartthrob, played it perfectly in 10 Things. Like, budding action hero in The Patriot.
Mm-hmm.
He's, like,
Knight's
not
Tale.
amazing in it, but I really liked it. But so good in The Knight's Tale. And then the dramatic stuff with, like, Brokeback and Monsters Ball and then, of course, The Dark Knight. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go with Heath. So, my lineup is Sean Penn, Tom Cruise. Who did I pick third? Heath Ledger.
Who did he pick third?
Did you pick third?
Russell Crowe.
Russell
Right,
Crowe.
right.
That's a
mine's-
killer.
Mine's kind of weak.
It's out there.
Yeah, mine's kind of weak, dude.
Dude, I really want to watch Russell Crowe singing again.
Yeah.
It's good, dude. Just watch the whole movie.
If I knew I was going to pick this, I should have just, if I was going to pick a weird lineup, I should have just gone weird all the way through and been like, Sean Penn, Ewan McGregor,
Right. No, do you know what would have been a good one? Is Jim Carrey.
Right.
Jim Carrey.
Because that would have so many roles that you get opened up to. With Jim
But him,
Carrey.
I want all my guys to be able to be in an action movie.
Right.
And I just like Jim
Carrey.
Carrey in an
Right.
action
That is
movie.
true. I do want,
Yeah.
for the most part, I want them to be in action.
They got to be able to be in a Tom Clancy movie. And I just don't
See,
think.
Tom Hanks can do that.
Yeah.
It'd be the. So this is like Jack Ryan, like where he actually stays in the office.
Well, no, it's like Hunt for Red October. He could
Right.
he could have been Alec Baldwin in that movie.
I don't know, dude. Tom
Look, I
Hanks.
like Alec Baldwin.
Oh, he did a submarine thing, right? He just did a submarine thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was he did.
Right,
He was the captain of like a destroyer.
Greyhound.
Greyhound, like
Yeah.
escorting.
But I think his strength is more like something bad happens on the submarine and then it goes to court, and Tom Hanks is the dignified
Right.
lawyer who has to defend the guy who went AWOL and shot the overbearing captain in the head.
that sounds like a good movie. Some movies rule too.
Sub movies are. Well, next time we'll do our draft of top submarine movies of all time. 8 rounds. McHale's Navy. No, not McHale's Navy.
Down
Down
Periscope.
Periscope. Right.
Yeah.
All right, so Aaron, you have to pick now. Who do you think's got the strongest 4? And you can do all 3. Tell us all 3.
I think I got swung. I was going Chris all the way, and I do love it. I do love Denzel and Hanks. And who's
Christian
3?
Bale.
Bale. I love Bale too. But I really think Chad came in hard.
With
Obviously
Leo.
with Ford, number 1. Then Pitt. Then De Niro. I mean,
It's got a nice
that's
balance.
a murderer's row with Leo in the cleanup spot. Like, whew.
I think I got to go Chad's too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, dudes.
Yeah. Chris, you were right there. But you know what? Yours 10 years from now. Maybe Chalamet
Maybe.
goes nutty.
Yeah, you
I
got
hope, dude.
you
It'd
got
be
some
nice.
serious prospects.
Maybe he puts on Taylor Lautner muscle.
Dude.
I don't know if I need him to do that, but that'd be. I mean,
We don't need him to do anything.
No,
it's his
right.
life. But
No,
I'm just
I'd like-
saying, if you want my affection,
Right, get beefier.
put on some rock, dude.
Start eating steak
Just jacked,
every
dude.
meal.
Timothy Chalamet is the Punisher.
None of us said any like contemporaries like Reynolds, Evans,
Michael B.
Pine, Michael B.
Yeah.
Jordan, Gosling.
Johnny Depp even.
Yeah,
Oh, Gosling, yeah.
I had Johnny Depp in a category. I had what was the name of this category?
He's a heavy hitter. I mean, he could do all.
Oh, he was in my
weird shit.
too weird category, Johnny Depp.
Right.
I literally, he's the only one in it. I just wrote too weird. Johnny Depp.
No Gyllenhaal.
And no Joaquin Phoenix either.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest leave off in terms of.
I don't think Gyllenhaal has the charisma for me. He doesn't. To me, he doesn't come off as that memorable.
I don't know if his shoulders are sturdy enough to carry the burden of it. Not that he's not jacked. I just mean like he kind of carries his shoulders a little bit. Like
Yeah.
it feels like you can't put the world on him the way you can Harrison Ford.
Yeah. And also with like Chris Evans and stuff. I sort of see the Marvel movies as it doesn't really. I mean, he was great in
Cellular.
so yeah, and what's
Not
the
another teen movie.
no,
He's-
dude,
He is really
dude,
funny. In
yeah.
that. He is really funny.
He has whipped cream on his hog, right?
Mhm.
Is that
Yeah.
him?
He's also just super funny in the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Marvel movies kind of like I don't know, they don't feel like they showcase
And a lot of my favorite ones are team up ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's like who's
It helps them, but it hurts them.
Robert Downey Jr. is probably the one who's like the most like leading man-esque in that whole universe.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, he probably has the most natural
Dialogue.
charisma of any
That's the most dialogue.
of any actor.
Yeah.
He just vibrates like intelligence and wit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, none of those guys made it.
I like Gosling.
I like him too.
He just did the thing where I feel like a lot of actors, they get like quieter in their movies. Like they stop taking roles where they're like fast talking, fun guys. Like he just went completely away from that. He just started playing like really quiet, tense dudes.
Did you like Drive?
Yeah,
Drive's really awesome, and that's like where it started. But then I think like First Man, he doesn't say anything. You know, like he's just like stiff, and I mean he hints at a well of emotion underneath. But
we didn't go British either. None of us went Fassbender. None of us went Hardy. Nobody went old guard with
Sean
like Hopkins or Sean Connery.
Yeah. I think I'd go Ewan McGregor before any of those guys.
I go Sean Connery before.
If I'm doing like you know, that part of the world.
Yeah, or Daniel Craig.
I like Daniel Craig.
Yeah. I got 2 Aussies on mine, though.
Or Philip Seymour Hoffman. I guess we never went for any like
Pure actors.
I don't know that Philip Seymour Hoffman was that much of a leading man, do you think?
No.
Did he really lead that many movies?
No, and certainly not like... I think we all want to make like big blockbuster action movies.
Nobody picked Will Smith.
That Red Table thing really...
That really got you, huh? I remember. I remember I was talking to, like,
I guess it was very evolved of him.
I remember JT asked me one time, very like sincerely, he's like, how often do you think about that Red Table thing with Will Smith? I'm like, I don't think I ever think about it, man. And he's like, I think about it every day.
I think I was going through a breakup at the time.
Oh, that's right.
Just the idea of going on something like that.
Yeah.
And being like, so honey, tell me all the ways I'm inadequate to the entire world.
Yeah.
And then she's walking through it. He's like, Yeah. It's very evolved on his part, but something about it, I was like, yeah, I don't think Sean Connery would have done that.
No, reached across that table.
Yeah. Sean Connery would have
Shut up.
ended that segment quick. Not that that's the better way to
But like
handle it.
Independence Day, it's like
Right.
one of the best movies ever.
He's good, but you know what? I like him, but he just I don't like him in dramas at all. Like I like him more. Like my favorite Will Smith performance still is like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like to me, that's like him at his, and he's really good at
6
Independence Day. That's really good too. That's true too.
6 Degrees of Separation is really good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. If
he doesn't really
like,
do that in anything.
No, he
so.
doesn't. But it's like I think he got off that earlier than like Tom Cruise did. You know what I mean?
Dude, honestly-
Where they just kind of move into like I'm just in huge movies.
You know who's the one guy that I left off that if I had another pick I would take is Jamie Foxx.
I was gonna say that, dude.
Yeah.
That just came out of my mind. Oh man, yeah, because
Yeah.
Ray and then Miami
Collateral.
Vice, Collateral.
He doesn't have like enough huge movies, you know, that
Yeah.
are like iconic, like Harrison Ford
He's
or
so
Brad
talented,
Pitt.
though.
But he's so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing
Yeah.
Tyson now. He's doing Mike Tyson. That'll be really good, and he'll crush that. But
Dude,
yeah,
I like the Netflix movie Project Power. He's just a movie star. Like I found him so watchable, and that movie was
Yeah.
pretty fun.
yeah, he's awesome and everything. What's the weirdest movie you ever watched with mom and dad?
I watched E Tu Mama Tambien with Mom, just us two.
Whoops.
What about Bully? That was a weird one.
Well, I guess that one was weirder because we watched it like 3 times with Mom and Dad.
We watched it that many times.
We watched
The
Bully
power
a
keep going?
lot. No, it's like about a bunch of high schoolers deciding to kill one of their classmates, and there's like several sexual assaults in it. It's like the most brutal murder scene ever. It's just a really dark movie.
It felt so normal when we watched it over and over again.
We would watch weird. I mean,
Yeah, you know
we
what I'm.
would
Yeah.
we would watch the Sleepers. Like in Sleepers, kids go to juvenile hall and get sexually assaulted by guards, and then when they grow up, they murder or get them all like arrested for different things, and nobody ever knows that they were the ones who molested them. And my dad showed that to me before I knew what sex was. Like I was in first grade,
Well, then do when
so I
mom
didn't even
came
understand.
home.
Yeah, and then she's like, "I can't believe you showed them that movie. So it's good for them. They should know." I'm like that. I don't even. I remember like the final frame of the movie, and then I remember them arguing about how we shouldn't have watched it, but I didn't know. So I guess he did it at the right time because like I was too young to even comprehend what was happening.
It's funny to be in Dad's head and he's like, Monica's gone. Time to watch something fun with the boys.
Sleepers.
He's like, sleepers. Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Very good in it.
Kevin Bacon.
Yep. What
What
a
Driver. It had a stacked cast, so I understand why Dad was like, I want to watch this movie.
All your friends in college too said that you were like the trigger man for what everybody would watch, right?
Yeah, I was fairly early. Like I would like come back. We also like I had cable, like full cable, because
We're huge believers in that in our household.
Yeah, and so we would watch a lot of TV. Like people would watch TV, but I'd like come back into the room, and then this started happening even in rooms that weren't mine. Where like I'd like come in and like they'd hand me the remote. Although I had one friend who sometimes would hang on to it.
Respect.
You know what I mean?
Would that
And he'd
frustrate
wanna-
you?
No, because then it was nice because then eventually he leaves and I get the remote back and then I start doing my thing and then another friend was like, "Thank God you're here." It was really a shit show before because I was good at watching like 3 movies at once and just navigating the commercials and knowing when the really good scenes were coming up. You know, like Last Boy Scout has like the craziest opening ever, and like I was able to flip to it just for that scene. Show 3 dudes who were like, "What is this movie?" And then I changed the channel, and I was like, "My best friend's wedding" when they start singing.
Oh, dude!
And I was like,
so you're almost in like the
on
production
fire.
van when they're like live cutting a news program or
Yeah,
something.
I think,
They're like, all right, ready, camera 2. All right, cut to camera 2.
and I would just do that. Channel surfing. I consider it an art form.
It's a lost
for
art.
myself, and yeah, it's definitely going away.
It's a lost art.
But that's okay. You know, I knew that I had some skills. I could really do it.
Tell the story about when and I don't want to glorify it. Don't do this, but tell that crazy story from South Bend where you went to college.
Which
The one where you
where I like came out of.
yeah.
Okay, it started with Captain Morgan in my buddy's dorm room. I was very drunk. Then went to the only hotel on campus where my friend Mary Kate's parents were staying. I guess I pulled out a Bud Heavy and was like, "Is this cool?" And just started drinking, and then proceeded to like fall down the stairs when we were leaving the hotel, just hammered, was blacked out at this point. Jumped in a cab with random people. It took off.
So your friends thought you knew them too.
No, I just jumped in with random people and they said, "Oh, okay, whatever, Chris." They couldn't get a hold of me. I came out of a blackout several hours later and I was just walking with some guy. Never met him before in my life. He's talking about finding like hard drugs. And then we go into a house and there's like a mattress on the floor and like static on the TV and 2 other guys. And I was like, "What the And then he like gets some I don't even know. He like disappears for a second. He's like, "All right, let's roll." We're like walking around and then he like takes off at one point and like ditches me and like disappears around a corner. And then, okay, so I'm just like, all right, I think I'm on this street. I'm gonna start walking back to campus. Start walking, a cop pulls up. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm just trying to get back to campus. I'm just going, this is like, you shouldn't be in this neighborhood. This is not, look, let me see your ID." I opened my wallet and my fake ID was on top. I gave it to him. He's like, "Okay, get in. We're going to drive you home." Drives me back to campus, and our dorm was right next to where you get dropped off. And I get out and I like see some friends and I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" And they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Like, what's going on? You don't have your phone. Where have you been?" And I realized I didn't have like my old school razor. And I guess one of my friends they couldn't believe that I was back and I was okay. And one of my friends had tried to call me earlier and a guy picked up just going, "Habib, Habib, Habib, Habib," and just wouldn't respond with anything other than, and then when he talked to him for a few minutes, "Your friend, he's passed out in my cab." I didn't know that any of this happened. They tried to pay the guy. The guy asked for money to bring me back. At some point, I must have ditched that guy. And then my friend ended up still paying him like $50 just to bring my phone back. I woke up in my bed and my phone was just sitting right there. "Thanks, Justin. Appreciate you." And yeah, so that's the only time I've been to what I assume was a crack house.
What'd you think when you were in the crack house? Were you trying to play it cool?
For sure, because I was already walking with the guy. Like we were already I came in mid conversation, and he was just like,
It's just a random guy you didn't know, and you're just blacked out.
yeah,
He just walked into the house with him, and
yeah, and it was like, I mean that's how I remember like mattress on the floor, two other guys like shrouded in darkness and just static on like it was like felt like it was out of the movie.
crazy.
You didn't do crack though, did you?
No, I don't think so. Well, because he was talking about getting drugs, so I assume I didn't do drugs.
Imbibe any before
because that was the mission we were on, I guess.
You may have paid for drugs though.
Maybe, because then he did ditch me,
Yeah,
so I don't know if
assume he
like.
paid.
Oh,
But I don't know.
probably.
I definitely didn't have drugs on me, and I'm definitely happy that I didn't do crack.
For sure.
That's always been a hard no for me.
Yeah, you've never done crack.
No. Don't
That's
play it. Crack, heroin, those are
Off limits.
for sure no-nos. Just because, it seems like they're really bad for you.
Yeah.
Well, you don't do the blowski anymore either.
I haven't. No, not. It's been a minute.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah. Look, that one's really fun, but don't do it.
Well, now it's like laced with like fentanyl. It's like dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like
I mean, it's always dangerous, but it's
for sure.
been intensified.
And that's
the
just
danger.
like, yeah, I don't think until fentanyl works its way out of like being everywhere. I don't think I'll do any like pressed pills or anything like that, or any other powders.
Do you know anyone who's gotten fucked up by that?
No, not personally. I know that baseball player, Scraggs, I think, from the Angels.
Yeah.
Skaggs, yeah.
Yeah, Skaggs. Yeah, he got a bad dose of something and didn't come back.
Man.
Yeah.
Chris, do you get hungover? I
Yeah.
feel like you're able to power through the hangover. You've got a good sort of.
Yeah, it
You got a
depends.
steel mind.
Yeah, it's Gatorade and water, maybe a bowl or two. That's just been don't be afraid to take some Tylenol. You know, that usually helps enough. If you're super nauseous, I mean,
But your
I
mood
don't know
never
what you
seems to
do.
dip.
Yeah.
usually if it's like if I had a good enough time, it's more like if the only time it's really bad is if I'm like, if I don't know what happened, you know what I mean? Or I know that I did something like bad, you know what I mean? It's more,
And not too bad. You just like maybe said something dumb.
right. But even then, like you'll just spin out
replay.
thinking about it, So like,
replay video, yeah.
as long as that usually helps, like, oh man, that was fun. So like, you can't get too upset about the fact that there's a cost to like all the fun you had. That makes sense.
It's a good way to think about it. And you're getting married too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? 4 months now? 3 months?
Yeah, November 20th.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's coming up. It's right around the corner.
And you're rare this way. You like planning a wedding. Like you actually enjoy it. Like
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty there where it's like, oh, this is annoying. But for the most part, like, it's been fun. You know what I mean? You get to, it just gets me more excited for like, because you're just throwing a party,
it's gonna be a great party.
And throwing parties is fun. And just knowing that, like, for the most part, who's going to be there, and you're just going to be dancing. I like that it's like, it's just built around dancing for the most part. It's also about me and Becca, that'll just be like,
It's a
I get to be
celebration.
the center of attention,
Yeah.
but then I can also be cool about it because obviously I don't need to force it in any way because it's kind of built that way,
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, you don't have to like. There's no fight for attention at a wedding. Everyone goes there and it's like all eyes are locked.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the part about it that I didn't like. But yeah, that's the only part I tripped out on.
You didn't like
that
being
you
the
were, like,
center?
focus?
Yeah.
My buddy was like that a little bit when he got engaged. We were at his engagement party. He's like, "Why is everyone looking at me?" I'm like, "Cause it's your engagement party." I was like, "You might have to get used to it, dude." He's
Yeah.
like, "I got to get out of here." I was like, "Nah, dude." I was like, "You have to just act like you like it." I'm sorry, man. That's kind of the cost of doing business with these things.
Yeah, and it's just more. It's. I think it's better to like be involved in the process and like have a stake in it and like have opinions. Although like, don't get me wrong, we've like it's led to arguments. It's led to like, oh, this is difficult. This is annoying. But I didn't expect it to be perfect. And for the most part, we have very similar tastes. And then, you know, there are plenty of things where I'm like, well, I don't care. Just pick something. But if I do care, it's like, let's figure this out. Let's, you know.
Right, that was kind of your advice, right? Was to have an opinion. That's like the best advice you can give to someone going through that process.
Yeah, I think so. Just because then you're more invested in the process, and then so like, it would just make for a more fun experience because it's like, and then you can also get exactly. Because if you're just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, you can do that obviously, but like I don't know, I just don't think it would be as much fun.
Yeah, if you show up and there's something you don't like, then you're going to have a bad time.
Right. Where did you propose that again?
Just at home.
Nice.
It was very simple. It was, I joke that, because we've dated for 7 years, that, because like the first thing she said when I got down on a knee, when all we did on a Friday night was like cook dinner, she was like, how did you do this? Like, I didn't do, I like, didn't have to plan anything, but I think I just got her messed up by taking so long to do it that she was just like, I can't believe that you were able to like pick a ring on your own without me knowing.
You lulled her into a false sense of...
yeah. And then she was surprised. And with quarantine, you know, you're just like on top of each other every day. That I think she was genuinely shocked that I was able to get a ring made without her knowledge.
And so mom has like 2 diamonds, right?
Yeah,
that were
from
like
a set of earrings that Dad got her.
Right.
And Dad, when I told Dad, like, and Mom told me years ago, you ever need a diamond, you come to me. And so I was like, Mom, I need, and then so she helped me out, which was huge, because like I said, like, I couldn't just be, I mean, I guess I could have made stuff up and been like, all right, I'm going to go like play golf or something, then gone to a jeweler, but I was able to like tell the jeweler the specs via Mom. He made it. It's like somebody that she's gone to in Orange County for decades. And Dad knew exactly when I told him, like, oh yeah, I got a diamond from Mom. He's like, didn't happen to be one of the ones from that set of earrings I got her. Is it? Like, it's exactly what it was.
Nice.
And then there's 2, so she's like, you know, if it ever,
how's
JT ever wants it, you know, he gets the other one. And then it's, so Mom likes the fairness of it.
One day. If Dad's been pretty involved, right? How's it been dealing with Dad?
Less so now just because he's been busy, but he's just like, he's so on it, but it just annoys me.
How so? What's he most sort of obsessed about with the
He keeps saying, look, Chris, there's certain things that you do to make it an elegant wedding.
Yeah, he's
and
big on
that
elegance,
phrase
right?
has just been driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's just like, that's just what you like. Like, there's other ways to do it, but...
He thinks his taste is synonymous with elegance.
Right, and like he brings up a lot of good points. You know, there have been some things where it's like, oh, nice, that is true. Let's do that. Like but you know how Dad,
you know, I'm
talks. You know, just when he's drilling down, it's tough, man. It's tough to be in the line of fire.
Mm-hmm.
How many dudes do you have coming to your bachelor party?
I think it'll be 20.
Whoa.
Like 20 to 25, but I think it'll probably be like end up being like 22.
Where are you going?
Tahoe.
Ooh, that's good.
Wanted somewhere local enough to where I could drive to.
South Lake?
I think so.
Yeah.
We haven't actually booked a place, although I have a couple that.
Yeah, I've been a little.
No, I do. I'll show
duties.
you which ones. Because Trevor was smart about it.
I'm about the worst best man you could have in terms of logistics.
Yeah,
if I needed
wild card.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, you'll be there on time, right? I'm like, yeah, I got you.
But I didn't need your help picking a place. You know, like that's.
I
like,
appreciate it.
And Trevor, he's been in real estate rentals, so he knows that stuff. Like he's like, look, these places don't like you don't want any from like this company that owns a lot of places because like they have cameras and things like that. Like inside,
right?
So obviously, like, although when I went to book one, it was like reason for the trip, and I was like, I probably should lie, right?
Just say a work thing. Say it's like a sales retreat.
That's a good idea. I'll do that.
Do they charge more if they know it's a bachelor party?
I'm just worried that if I say it's
Probably.
a bachelor party, they're gonna charge
They get
more,
scared.
pop by. You know what I mean? Like make a point to make sure that they come by. Where it's like, not that we're gonna be doing like crazy shit. I just want to play like drinking games and like smoke and maybe do shrooms.
Yeah.
Hence the driving, so I can just don't have to worry about going through an airport.
Right.
But yeah, I also don't need them to like show up for that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you're ruining our table or something.
Yeah. South Lake is sick. We do like our formals there, our fraternity formals, and I did some shows there one time, and it's the best for partying.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strider told me, I think it is on the south side of the lake, and he said the California side is probably where you want to be.
Then you got State Line you can go over and gamble.
Yeah, and I think that's what, because it's the first weekend of NFL football, so I
Dude.
think I'll like have the house till Sunday, and then maybe if dudes stick around, we can just get like hotel rooms and go gamble and watch football.
What do you think about the Steelers' prospects this year? 17-game season. What are you pegging us at?
I don't know, probably, I think we 9 or 10 wins. I mean, hopefully it's more, but I don't know how much I believe that Ben has left in the tank. And then the offensive line, I hope we didn't draft anybody. We're making some signings or people that are supposedly coming up through, but we also, I don't know. I feel like the offensive line's going to be terrible. And then the defense was so good last year. I don't know how they stay at that high of a level. And I feel like if they drop even a couple spots, it's like worrisome for the team.
Well, if they stay healthy, though, because we lost guys last year.
Yeah, I don't want to be pessimistic, but I just want Ben to be gone.
Yes,
Same. It's been too long.
You're over him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just,
He's a douche.
he's a douche. Just hang him up. Even though he restructured his contract to like be more team friendly, but it's still a lot. It's just the Steelers don't have any money to pay free agents, and they haven't for years. So it's just, I don't know, man. Just want something new.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
He did great, dude.
We need
Just
fresh blood.
Fucking bounce.
I like that.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast letting you know once again that we are brought to you by Fruit Smash. Fruit Smash, thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. You guys are the best hard seltzer in the biz. If you want to have a good time out, make sure you smash with Fruit Smash. We're also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. We're brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dinks are looking fresh and clean, because you got nuts. You got a vagina, and you got pubes, and you got to look out for those pubes, and they will come and get you. They will grow, and you got to trim them with the Lawnmower 4.0, this revolutionary new ball hair trimmer, or, all kinds of pube trimmer. It's got 7,000 RPM motor, 4,000K LED light. You can see your dink in high def. It got a travel lock. It's just like the best trimmer out there, guys. So do not miss out on this. Get the Lawnmower 4.0. You can also get the Weed Whacker for ear and nose hair, the Performance Boxer Briefs, the Shed Travel Bag. And it's the new year, guys, and it's a new you. Might screw around and attend Smooth Balls University this fall. Wait, is that a thing? You better believe it. You better believe it. My voice just cracked because I'm that passionate about Manscaped. So get 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. This year, graduate with a degree in clean balls from Manscaped. We are also brought to you by Haver Supply. What up, Haver? New sponsor of the podcast, The Legends. It's a super sick clothing company. They have like some of the most legit shirts, hats. You've seen Strider rocking their hats on the podcast, and he looks dank. So have you ever wanted to go to Burning Man and wear nothing but a hat? Have you ever wanted to build a sandcastle to impress girls at the beach? Do you imagine yourself climbing an iceberg? Well, now there's Haver. Keep you looking and feeling epic all the time. At the beach, on a hike, playing golf, enjoying a dank IPA. Guys, I rocked their lids golfing actually one time. I think I wore it in a story too, and I was just, not to be braggy, but I was like one of the freshest looking dudes on the course because I was rocking a Haver hat. Check out their hats. They're so sick, and their shirts are so legit. And what is Haver Supply? Well, it's a lifestyle brand tailored to the adventurer, surfer, wanderer, and traveler. What is Haver's mission? The goal is to promote a lifestyle of chill. What's the vibe? The collision of surf mountains with an inspiration for the outdoors. And what makes Haver unique? They've got small batch release hats to fit your dome in style. For listeners, you can get 20% off your order with the code GODEEP at checkout. Go to haversupply.com and enter code GODEEP at checkout for 20% off. That's Haver Supply, HAVER supply.com. Code GODEEP for 20% off at checkout. And finally, we are brought to you by the legends at Talkspace. Talkspace, thank you so much for sponsoring the podcast. Guys, we love therapy on this podcast. Therapy is legit. I've gone to therapy this year. JT goes to therapy. Aaron, have you been to therapy? Aaron has not been to therapy, but he loves it too. We all, it's good. And you got check, even if you think nothing's wrong, it's always good to go and just check to make sure that your dome is mentally well and fit, because it's what's up. And we talk to all our friends when we're experiencing issues, but they don't always give us the advice we need. Sometimes they tell you, hey, good, just go, go to the zoo. But sometimes going to the zoo is not what you need right now. Sometimes you need to talk to a licensed therapist. And that's where Talkspace comes in, because they'll give you unbiased feedback and advice from a licensed professional. And it's refreshing and actually rewarding. And over 50% of Americans struggle with their mental health. So we all need help. There's no shame in it. Talk to a therapist. And this is an easy way to do it. You can do it over Zoom. It's affordable. There's people available. You don't have to go through all this stuff to driving to a therapist. It's just like an easy, affordable way to get the help that you need today. And whether you're a parent, student, millennial, or just someone having a hard day, Talkspace can provide you the support to help you feel better with a single message. Individual, couples therapy, medication prescription services, all kinds of stuff. So check them out. It's the #1 online therapy platform to help you sort through any issue. Start feeling better with a single message. Match with a licensed therapist when you go to Talkspace.com. Get $100 off your first month with the promo code GODEEP. That's $100 off when you use code GODEEP at Talkspace.com. Finally, we are brought to you by Helix Beer Bongs and our merch. Check them out at shopcgd.com. Guys, back to the show. Oh, also, we will be at the Hollywood Improv September 15th. Check us out. Hollywood Improv September 15th. What up?
Well, this one has a good title. Your advice has ruined my life? ? Hello, Stoke Nation. So many ways you guys think about things the most ordinary way that just all normal dudes do. And that has been a revelation. Because as you get deeper into your 30s, you feel that more and more. My friends and I that I grew up with have grown more distant and adulted the best we could. But I feel like we all can't wait to rage with each other and be immature. I guess my question is, some of us have grown up better than others. I most definitely still have grown up the least, but I've accomplished dreams and I'm literally a firefighter now and have a pretty sick schedule built in with some heavy trauma in between. How do I hang with my bros like we used to and both try to adapt to their married with kids at 30 life and also not have my central topic be involving me being a fighter and not sound like a douche? I don't think that makes you sound like a douche, talk about being a firefighter. I just literally don't know what else to say when we start talking about how stuff's changed. I say to them in exactly the same dude that loves to rage in our 20s. I just help people more now, and then I sound like a D-bag for bringing up my profesh. I totally get how it's tough to hang out with you. Because most of my friends are, my buddies that I grew up with are, married and have kids now. And so, there's certain, if I want to go dancing out at, the Abbey or something on, a Friday night, that's my new favorite spot. They're probably not going to participate. You know what I mean? So I got some buddies who are younger now, who are more on that wavelength, which I kind of adopted from Dad, because Dad's 65 and all of his friends are
30s.
Yeah, but he's friends of every age range, but he has friends that he goes out with and they're younger dudes. So you might need that, but you don't lose the other friends, you just and they still party, they probably just don't do it as regularly, but
or it's like at barbecues.
Yeah. But I don't think bringing up your profession is
douchey
at all. No, and if you're a firefighter, I was playing volleyball with this guy yesterday who's a SWAT guy in Costa Mesa, and then the other guy used to be in the Marines and now does tech stuff, and I was very curious about both their professions. You know what I mean? That's a cool job. If you were my buddy, I'd want to ask you a million questions about it.
Yeah, I think this guy's way more in his head than he realizes. Because it's hard for me to picture people being super judgy of him for bringing up his career, and I think you can relax. I think just be yourself and have fun. I don't think you need to worry so much about looking like a douche. I think you're so self-aware that you're probably not a douche. So I think have a fruit smash and chill.
Yeah, he's probably gotta they have to have other stuff to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Like, what did they used to talk about? You know what I mean?
Well, you can always go down memory lane too.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, in The Sopranos, they say it's the lowest form of like conversation, but that's just Tony picking on his friend. I think it's the best.
Yeah.
I love going down memory lane with people. It's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
you don't
easy.
want to get stuck where it's like all you do is reminisce when you're together. You know what I mean? You obviously want to talk about but like, it's always there to fall back on. And then like, I don't know, man, talk about like books or movies or I don't know. What do you,
And you just look. Your friends are gonna have stuff to talk about too. You just ask them questions. Just get to the bottom of where they're at. Even if it's not stuff you're into, just keep talking to them about it.
is it that they're just not raging? Like he wants to rage?
That might be more what the issue is. Is that he's
Yeah.
kind of like a weekend warrior type, you know, and he's got this flexible schedule, so he doesn't have like a wife and a kid that he has to be accountable to in the morning. So, yeah, in that case, man, I'd make a couple more buddies. But that doesn't mean you lose the other buddies. I think you just
Right.
you know, because your friend who's married and has kids, like he might be able to go out, but he's not going to be doing it on your, your frequency. So, yeah, just what about get one of your firefighter buddies to go out there with you? And you guys bragged all the people you meet about firefighting, which is a great profession.
Yeah, I think I can see where he's coming from though, because I've had a fear of being braggy, I guess. You know.
You're very humble though. You're like one of the most modest guys I know.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, but I think I get
At a surface, if you really get to know you.
Oh yeah, I'll fucking kill you, man. Yeah, the surface. Yeah, underneath I'm a fucking egomaniac, but you know, I keep it very chill up top. No, that's all I gotta say. No, yeah, I can see where it's coming from though. But I think if people are genuinely asking about your job, that's fine. But I don't know. Whenever people ask me about what we're doing, I get that kind of like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to tell you everything because then I'm gonna sound like a nozzle. But I think that might be being more of a nozzle,
Right.
than actually being you know what I mean?
Because if you're acting like it's a big deal, then it's saying that you think it's a big deal. Whereas if you just like talked about it, you're like, they're like, how was your day? And you're like, well, this was my day.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Right. Yeah, like don't think because you're a firefighter that you're like separate from your friends. Like to them, they're probably stoked that you're a firefighter because it's fucking awesome. And if they ask you about your day, they probably want to hear about some firefighting shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you always tell a story and then segue into something else. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to stay on the topic. And then it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
You just move it to, something else.
For sure. All right, what up, Council of Stoke? Hope all are having a friggin' dank day. I just graduated from high school and about to start my journey through college. Over these past few months of summer, I started hanging out with this absolute dime piece that I've been friends with for a while now. I'm talking Kate Upton lookalike mega babe.
Cool.
We started going on some fire froyo dates, which eventually turned into grabbing some steak and then boning and raging with the squad.
Wait, say that again?
I don't think you phrased that right.
Yeah.
He goes, we started going on some fire froyo dates, which eventually turned into grabbing some steak and then boning and raging with the squad. Which, like, him putting boning, tagging it with raging with the squad, it's like, what?
And then boning.
But this sounds sick. I'm having trouble picturing
This is all the same
where the
day.
boning's happening.
Yeah.
And who else is involved.
Froyo.
We got froyo.
Steak.
Let's get some steaks.
And they boned.
Yeah.
And then my buddies are having a party. We should cruise.
What's the one from I think you should leave when they get like wet steaks or something?
Yeah. Sloppy steaks.
Sloppy steaks.
Sloppy
What did they
steaks
say?
with the boys.
Sloppy steaks with the boys.
These guys always meet up. And the guy, like the server serving them at the steakhouse is like, you guys can't do it. You better not. We're not going to do it, okay? And as soon as the guy leaves, they'll go slop them up. And they just pour water on their steaks.
Steaks. Sloppy steaks with the boys.
That's funny.
Don't do it.
Stoke levels are through the friggin' roof, dudes, with this babe. She's like the Jordana to my Paul. The connection is
Nice.
genuine, and I know she feels the same way about me. The problem is she seems to be afraid of commitment since I'll be leaving for college soon while she's finishing up her last year of high school. Although it's only a 2-hour drive, I feel where she is coming from, as we will both be busy with sports and won't have much time to see each other for the first 3 to 4 months. She's opened up to me and said that once I leave, she might start hanging out with other guys. Kind of bums me out, but I try to not let it bother me, and I don't want to force a good time. My question is, do I continue to pursue this mega babe, or do I just choose to move on and see what college has to offer in the female department? How would you bros handle this ish? Thanks, dude. Sorry for the long question. Love the pod and all your fire advice. Shaner.
I think I would enjoy your time with her, as much as you can until you go to college. And then I think, I feel like if you keep trying to if she's indicated that she, probably wants to move on after the fling is over, I think it's probably in your best interest to respect that decision and move on with your life. And that might lead to you guys reconnecting. But I think if you go off to college and you're still pining over her and you're still trying to, force a relationship when she's not really into it, that might just lead to a lot more pain than just cutting the cord and moving on and enjoying your time in college. Because I don't want you to be in a situation where you go to college and then you're just thinking about your girl from last summer when this is your time to sort of really experience college, and you don't want to look back on that time with regret and be like, oh man, I should have just moved forward with my life. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. I think there's also even a way to do it where, like, if you're not like pining for her, but you stay in touch, you know what I mean? Because like Thanksgiving's in November.
Yeah.
Maybe they play sports, so maybe they won't be able to, but like then there's Christmas, and then there's and then summer's there before you know it. That you don't have to, like, if you're not going to get too wrapped up in it and be pining for her too much, then it doesn't mean you have to like cut off the relationship entirely. Mm-hmm. And you can kind of keep it alive, check in every once in a while if you feel it. And it sounds like, but definitely don't try and force a relationship if she's not into it.
Yeah.
Dude, at first when I was reading it, I was like, go for it. I was like, be with her. Like, you guys get along so great. She's beautiful. I was like, just who cares if you're in college? 2-hour drive. That's a chip shot.
Right.
When you're 18 years old too, you've got so much energy. Drive that every friggin' day if you have to. I know you're busy with sports, which is awesome, but I was going to say go for it. But then the thing that gave me pause was that she feels like you guys are naturally going to kind of go in different directions once you go to college, and she's already brought up that she will probably see other guys. Now, she could be saying that as like a defense mechanism to like protect her own feelings, which would be normal for someone at that age. Or she might be saying it because that's genuinely just what she wants to do. So I would just ask her straight up. I'd be like, hey, do you actually want to see other guys, or do you want to be with me? And she might tell you what you want to hear just to not hurt your feelings. So you got to be really, you got to get to the truth of it. But if she says she wants to be with you and she doesn't want to see other guys and you're this into her, I think go for it. And then if it doesn't work, you break up. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeling romantic today, but it sounds like you're super into her, and you guys freaking bone and then go raging with the guys.
Sloppy steaks.
After eating some sloppy steaks. Like, what else is there, dude? That's it. You got it. So I don't know. I'd say, hey, babe, you want to eat sloppy steaks for the rest of our lives? No, don't say that. But yeah, I think I would go for it. But I'd first find out where her head's at on it. And if she says that she feels more like she wants to explore and stuff, then you respect that. And then you know, and then you go live your life. And then when you come back at Thanksgiving, yeah, you drop a line. Say, hey, you going to the homecoming game? I'll be there.
Should we go to Chester's, get some sloppy steaks?
What's cracking? I'm back from school. Yeah, college is sick. Super sick. You have a toothpick in your mouth and stuff? Yeah, I'll be sick.
Did I hook up with chicks? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've been busy. Real busy. A lot of ladies. Making out, touching each other, the whole 9 yards.
Learning, too.
Learning.
Learning a lot. I'm evolving as a lover, for sure.
This has been a really important time for me sexually.
I mean, I say I'm majoring in econ, but really I'm majoring in love. And sex. More sex than love. You want to go get some froyo? I really miss you. I think about you every fucking day, dude. I'm gonna transfer. Where are you going to school? I'm gonna transfer there.
I'm gonna go back to high school.
Dude, even that, like, I had a friend who transferred colleges for the girl he was into, and they inevitably broke up, and then he still had a great time. So I think also you can't really lose. Yeah. But it sounds like you like her. I would just go for it, dude.
Just keep in mind, like, how many people. I don't know anybody who's with their high school sweetheart. So, like, just temper it with that. Like,
that's true. How many do we know?
One of my college buddies is, and then
Hernandez. And then Chad DeCasas.
Yeah.
We know a couple.
Mm-hmm. And then my buddy from college, they went to separate colleges that were like just a couple hour drive.
Who's that, Tim?
Yeah.
Good guy. What's up, boys? I really don't have anyone I can go to with this problem besides the Stokers themselves. Almost a year ago, the bros and I went to one of close girlfriend's house for her 22nd B-Day party. It was a big blowout, and we were all pretty lit. Her dad got a keg, and her mom got her a massive bouquet of bottles and nippers. Keg stands were in full effect, and naturally shots followed. I don't remember all that well because I was pretty blasted myself, but apparently an argument occurred between my best friend and I, literally best friend since 5th grade, and I'm almost 23. I was going back to his house after to slump over, so his brother had to come get us. Again, I don't remember all that well, but the loud argument carried into the car and back to the house. I decided to leave because I needed to get out of the crib before the fight got worse. I said goodbye to his mom and got picked up by my dank GF. Long story short, I wasn't allowed to go over there for a little, which is understandable. This past Christmas, I texted his mom, dad, and his little brother separately a long heartfelt message apologizing for my actions, even though I can't quite recall what happened. They all responded with love, and I waited a couple of months before I went back to their house. His mom is perfectly normal, but now his little brother and father won't even look at me or talk to me, and it really hurts me and messes with me. I want to say or do something that would make it all better again, but I'm lost. Feeling pretty depressed that my best friend's family feels different about me over one night. Love all you guys, Chad, JT, Strider, and Joe. Stoke Vapes for life. I mean, I'm sorry, dude.
So he doesn't know what he did?
Yeah, that's the tough part, right? It's like, I don't know what you said, dog. Yeah.
So presumably him and his boy are good.
Yeah, him and the boy are good. And he even sent like a...
No? What he said?
Yeah. I'm going to ask him right now. I'm going to say, what'd you say? He's not going to get back to us in time, though, so we have to keep going as if...
Yeah, that's the thing. Does he even know? I wonder if he's able to get a good read on what he actually did.
I can't imagine if it was also just an argument and you had the wherewithal to leave before it got worse. That doesn't sound like someone who's out of control. And then to send a heartfelt follow-up message to all of them on really Christmas is like, most teenagers don't do that. Most teenagers are like, no, I'm right, and screw them kind of thing. So,
or 23, yeah.
Or a 23-year-old, sorry. Maybe, I don't know, it kind of sounds...
I think you just got to wait it out. Like, you're still boys. You know, at least one other member of the family is nice to you and like looks at you and interacts with you, but like just you'll win out. They'll see that you're a good guy again. It just might take years, which sucks, but you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? Stop hanging out with your best friend?
And honestly, how close do you have to be with like your best friend's dad and brother?
Right, and you know, like it might take.
I mean, ideally, you're very close, but like you know, life goes on. I don't know if that's glib, but I just mean that if you do have to wait, it's not impacting your day-to-day to wait.
Right.
Yeah.
And they at least have 2 out of 4 in your corner, so it's only a matter of time. And like, or at least hopefully, they can't be that big of dicks.
It kind of, well, that's honestly too, when I was like, the dad and the brother won't look at him. It's like, like mom and dad saw us get into so many fights with our friends, and it was like, they were like defensive backs. They had a quick memory, quick. They were forgetful quick. Like, I think this stuff happens when you're in your early 20s too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he did everything he could do.
Yeah.
He apologized. He tried to make it right. So, I think you're right. Just wait it out.
Just keep being a really good friend to your friend, and they'll eventually take notice and respect it. That's it. That's all you can do.
Yeah, 100%. Chad, you ready?
Yeah.
What's your beef of the week, dog?
My My beef of the week is with the Delta variant.
Get it.
Dude. So pissed, man. So goddamn. When the new, I remember when it first started showing up in the news, you know, they're like, new Delta variant cases are right. I was like, what the fuck, man? Are you shitting me? You know, and then I started hearing, you know, it started happening gradually. You know, I had friends, Brad Fuller was like, he told me he knew someone who had a breakthrough case. You know, I have a bunch of friends who had like breakthrough cases. They're like, yeah, man, a lot of people are getting COVID. You know, I think it's gonna become a thing. I was like, no, and now it's starting to rise again, and I think we're farther into it than what they're reporting. You know, I think, you know, because I don't think the numbers are as accurate these days because there's like at-home tests. This is what I heard from some guy too, so I don't know.
Who's the guy?
He's a former FDA commissioner, epidemiologist.
Oh, sounds good.
And he was just like,
when you literally said some guy, I thought some guy you surfed with you.
Rick down by the pier.
Exactly.
Rick said that too, though, and Rick.
You basically picked the person who would probably know the best.
Yeah. And Rick's predicted a lot of shit, so you know. But if you look at like the UK number, this track of it in the UK and then India and stuff, it seems like we're sort of on track to peak in like late August,
which works out well for our schedule.
Yeah, that's if it's threatening work, which is really what got to me. You know, and then all this load talk, you know, it's like it's got a huge load, and I was like, you don't need to be braggy. You know, we get that you have a huge load, and like that's, you know, I don't think that's newsworthy. You know, you got a load 1,000 times bigger than Alpha. Like, yeah, good for you, dude. Like, you know, a lot of people that have huge loads and they don't talk about it. So I think Delta's just a fucking renob that needs to bounce quick. So that's my beef.
Good beef. Chris, what's your beef of the week?
My beef is with Activision.
Nice.
Who are behind Warzone. I've for several months now I've experienced across my Xbox One and then now an Xbox X of getting booted a lot. I've made some changes that allow me to get booted less, but my biggest beef with them is not the fact, I mean, it sucks that I'm getting booted all the time, but they don't have customer service. They don't have a place for me to be like, hey, this is not working. What might be going on? Even on their website, it's like, sign in here. You click sign in, it takes you right back to the same web page. That, like, it's like, I emailed them, they never got back. And I just feel it's just annoying. You guys should have customer service. I should be able to at least talk to a robot that responds to me, you know, or even better, a person, so that I can figure out, because it's kind of affecting my mood. The fact that when I'm dropping with the boys, I don't know if I'm just gonna be running, and then and
you're the best player. You're the best killer that we have.
I don't know, but
like you or Brooks are the best at dropping bodies, or Ross.
Like I put my tiers. You know, I'd say I'm tier 1, but I'm not getting a lot of reps because I don't want to play as much because. And the guys are always so nice. You know what I mean? They're always like, oh, man, it's because they know they're sympathetic, but I'm such a buzzkill when we're playing because then, we're looking good, dude. This feels like it might be one. We're going to make it far, maybe win. And then I'm frozen. I'm fucked. I got to reboot. And it's just really depressing.
That does suck, man. I know I've been hearing about that. It's weird, too, because you got good equipment, so it's weird that it keeps happening to you.
Yeah, and it just started happening all of a sudden with one Xbox, and then now it's carried over to a new one. So
do you think some hacker has a vendetta against you because they see how you're dropping bodies?
I don't know. Maybe Activision has a problem with me because I rip so hard.
It could be.
But that's why I'm like, the only thing, I've changed everything else, so now I'm thinking it's like my Activision account, and it's just like impossible to do anything about it.
I've been getting that too. I can't drop into Verdansk.
Oh, really?
Every time I try to go into Verdansk, it'll be like...
Your passport doesn't work?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I don't know how to update it because no customer service.
Yeah, get some customer service, Activision.
Yeah, and pay your female employees better.
Oh, nice.
Hey. They got in trouble for that.
Yeah, do that. Aaron, do you have some ready? All right. My beef of the week is with my horniness.
Nice.
Just chill. Just chill, JT. It's okay to be alone. Just chill. All right? It's just ridiculous.
I feel you, dude.
I know. I'm just like, it's like a Tuesday, and I'm like wired. And I'm like, I gotta like hang out with somebody. It's like, it's a Tuesday, dude. It's like, just ride it out. Just ride it out. You know, I'm having dinner with a friend. Haven't seen him in months. I'm just like, you know, talking about something serious in his life, and I'm just like, He's like, how you doing over there? I'm like, good. Just freaking horny, dude. Like, all right, that's cool, man. And then he was like, you know, I'm so horny all the time that I don't even feel horny anymore. I was like, doesn't sound horny to me. It sounds like the absence of horniness. Here,
Yeah,
feel this. That's like the Crowe. You know, in the Crowe.
I don't remember.
In the end of the Crowe, where he takes the bad guy, and he's like, you remember he was like in the
right,
ICU
just
for
like-
like a day before he actually died. And he's like, I have something for you. 23 hours of pain. And he all gives it to him in one straight shot. It's a good movie. Chris. No, Chad. Who's your beef? Babe of the week.
Well, first, I know what you're saying too. I'll go on like family trips to like see my dad. Or like, yeah, I'm going to see my sister this weekend. They're like, yeah, you're gonna surprise her for your birthday. I'm like, yeah, nice. Oh,
I know, I do. I'm going to see my dad this weekend. I'm like ready to cancel the trip. I'm like, I'm not in a good place to go visit you right now. I'm like, give me a couple weeks, get some affairs in order.
yeah.
Literally, but not like, you know, affairs. And then I'm like, I'll come visit you then. Because if I come now, we're gonna go like on a river trip, and I'm gonna be ready to snap, dude. I'm gonna snap.
If you crank, how much respite does that give you? Like, how long?
Man, sometimes it's a drop in the bucket, and sometimes it is the elixir I was looking for. But sometimes I don't want it to fix it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
already got
Oh,
it. You
yeah.
got it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Chad, what's your babe of the week?
My baby of the week is the guy who ripped ass in my hot yoga class.
Oh, dude, legend.
Dude, this guy was an absolute beast. We're doing hot yoga, 120 degree, whatever it is. It's hot. It's hot. We're doing a chair pose, which is where you're like this. So you're basically doing an air squat, both arms up. Dude, this guy's in literally like tighty whities. Everyone's sweating. And she's like, okay, now get into the chair pose, and you're going to want to lower, and you keep ass. It was like, I was sitting there, I was just, and then no one said anything. She's like, okay, now let's shavasana.
Was it hard not to laugh? That's always the hardest when you can't not laugh.
It was hard
Yeah.
because it was like, it was hard because he acted like nothing happened.
That's
and he
what
was
it
like in
is.
this chair pose. It was like, dude, it was loud and wet too. It wasn't like it was like really egregious.
distinct.
Like he really disrespected the
Builds
room.
up tension, and you need the person who did it or somebody else to relieve it by acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Because then when you don't, everyone's just like, we're going to talk about, like, everyone's waiting for someone to be like, excuse me, or so, whoops. You
That's
know,
where
like
you do
anything.
that laugh where you're like...
And then you just look back at the teacher and she's just like,
She's a pro.
But yeah, I just love dudes that, because old guys seem to do that a lot. They'll do that in the locker room a lot too. You know, just rip massive farts and not do anything. You know, they just sort of, or like Alec Baldwin in Along Came Polly.
Mm-hmm.
I think they like can't hear that frequency anymore, so they don't even know how loud it was.
Right.
It's like the whistle at the end of Polar Express.
Yeah.
I've just been in this situation where like you're in a gym or like a yoga class and it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're holding it in. You know what I mean? You don't want to be
But there's dignity
embarrassed. You know what I mean? That's true. But
there's nobility in that fight.
I mean, I wish I was. Sometimes, not all the time. I wish I was just this guy, just like,
You just want to fart.
you know. And then I know if I get another one, I'm gonna hold that one in because I'm not gonna
Do
I'm not gonna be doing it all the time.
You just keep doing.
Right.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering because the guy was so nonchalant about it. I was like, did he just do it? Did he just push it out? I don't know. I wish I could have talked to him afterwards. But like, dude, like, was that accidental or you just don't give a fuck?
How much agency is involved in your flatulence, stranger man?
And the fact that we were doing it in chair pose.
Right.
I mean, it was. It's one of the grosser places to do it too because everyone's sweating.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah, the conditions are not meant for farting, but a lot of them are going to happen there.
She's like,
Or
okay.
it's perfect for farting.
Yeah. Okay, now.
Right.
Okay, now
Depending on how you
lower.
look at it.
Lower. Okay, Shavasana. Do no Shavasana.
Chris, who's your babe of the week?
Taking a page out of Strider's book and going with my dang fiance.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Becca, I love you. Been together for a long time. We're going to be together forever, dude. Let's do it. I'm really excited to get married. It's going to be super fun. And then we get just doing shit together for the rest of our lives. It sounds awesome. And she loves me despite my small dong, which I appreciate. And she says, like, I don't like you calling it that because it fits perfect for me. So
Nice.
I think that's a really nice sentiment that even if you got a small dong, you know, doesn't mean that like your Cinderella or Prince Charming isn't out there. You just got to find the right fit and lock it down. Love you, babe.
That was awesome.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
I remember when you guys went on your second date, you guys came and met for drinks afterwards. And I remember...
At the Woods?
At the Woods.
That was our first
And then
date.
afterwards, I remember at the end you went like this. With a lot of swagger, you paid the bill and you went, you want to get out of here? Nice. She was like, yeah. I was like, oh, it's on.
Hung with the squad and boning.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't bone. She was like, we're going to go back to my place. And I was like, we can just make out and cuddle. That's what we did.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Sweet.
a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but sometimes it's not enough.
Well, don't get me wrong, Giles. I was sitting there going, oh. So, but, you know.
You're right.
You lock it up. She drove me home the next day, and then we hung out again.
That's
It's
it. My baby of the week is old ESPN, so I'm reading the oral history of ESPN right now, and it's making me nostalgic for the ESPN that I grew up with from like 94 to like 98. And here's the thing that was cool about ESPN, and I'm sorry, I know I'm getting hella nostalgic here, and I'm kind of like saying in the good old days, but I do genuinely think it provided more for the culture, because now it's just like talking head shows where they argue about like the biggest football and basketball stories of the day. But back then, if you woke up at like 6 a.m, which I did back then, it was like fitness stuff in the morning. If you woke up even earlier, like 4 a.m, it was like World's Strongest Man. So you'd be watching like World's Strongest Man. Then from like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m, it was like fitness TV shows, which were actually like really well produced and fun to watch. And then from like 10 to like 2, you'd get like college baseball, or you'd get like a foreign sport like rugby or something like that. Like something that you just didn't even know you cared about, but then, and you kind of didn't understand it, but you're like, this is cool. And you'd start to like learn who the players were in these different sports. Like remember they had the outdoor games. Those were always fun to watch.
Sick, dude. Just dudes swinging axes and saws. It was awesome.
For a while they did
Motocross.
poker, the motocross. They had all these different sports, and now
Cup stacking.
we don't even know as many people from these various sports because they just don't get the airtime on ESPN. But it was in car racing, and they just had so much different stuff, and now it's just it's gotten so single-minded with how they do their programming, and I just don't think it's as fun or as diverse as it was when I was growing up, because it was just. And then SportsCenter was obviously a bigger deal, and those guys were huge personalities. Like, they were a bigger deal to me than like talk show hosts. Like I had more of a relationship with like Stuart Scott and like Kenny Mayne than I did with like David Letterman or Conan O'Brien even. So I just really missed that era. And in the book, like, it's so interesting. Like, they made the America's Cup. Like, they were the first people to televise that, and they made America care that we had lost it and that we could get it back. And
That's cool.
and then that even had such a big cultural impact that they ended up making a movie out of it
The
with
Wind?
with Matthew Modine.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you package it right, we'll care about like any sport if you can get the right story in there. So come on, let's get some more of those stories coming. But yeah, I just miss old ESPN.
I think they've actually gotten worse at highlights too. Like they used to tell a story with their highlights where you got a sense of what the game was, and now they show maybe 2 plays,
Home runs and dunks.
Yeah, and it's like, well, what? And when I watch games, sometimes I'm like, there was a story to this game, and it was cool, and they used to tell it.
And they were the first ones to do that. Like ESPN was the first one to be like, oh, this quarterback had 12 straight completions, and they show you each of the completions.
1, 2, right, and they'd have a little ticker.
Right.
And just.
They were pretty creative with their highlighting.
And now it's like whoever the biggest star is, they show them hitting a 3 from like the third quarter, and then nothing else from the. It's annoying. And I guess they do it, and that's not even that like. Some of it I understand because like everyone already knows what happens because they get it all on their phone, but you can still like tell the story of the game because they're not going to get that from their phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's get back to weirder programming. Chad, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is Aaron, my yoga teacher.
Damn, what a bait and switch there.
Real roller coaster there.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Because that's also Aaron's
It's his name.
Well, here's another. Aaron is my yoga teacher.
It's not me.
But it's also Aaron. I mean, you're legend of the week every week. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, I should have said my yoga teacher, Aaron. So
Yeah, the flexible Aaron.
Yeah, but you're legend of the week every week. Yeah. It's I like doing yoga on Sundays. It's very nice, and she's just a very comforting presence. I really enjoy doing classes with her. I like when yoga teachers too. They'll be like, all right, this pose it's a tourniquet for your genitals. It's gonna cut off the circulation, and the blood is gonna flow right back in. You're gonna get all those nutrients. Okay, we're gonna do in this standing eagle. This is gonna massage your colon. And I asked my dad, his doctor. I'm like, Dad, can you massage your colon? And he's like, no.
That's how you stand. Yeah.
I like how they say all those terms. They're like, all right, this is gonna make the blood flow into the kidneys, okay? And this is gonna get all those. And I asked my dad about that. He's like, none of this is possible, but it does make me feel good. And I like being flexible. So, and it's tough. It's like an hour and a half. It's tough. Like
Damn.
at the end, like an hour, 45 minutes in. Like she's like, Chad, are you okay? Are you gonna pass out? I'm like, oh, I'm good. Just keep going. So yeah, I just want to give her a shout out. What up? And then my legend of the week is also Aaron, for just being an absolute legend.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, who's your legend of the week?
My big bro.
Oh, come on, get out of here, dude. That's nice.
You're the best. I'm so happy to be here. Make
Thrilled
you
to
my
have you.
legend, dude. It's just, you're the best. You're the best big bro anyone could ask for.
Oh, that's nice, man.
It's always been super inclusive. Makes me feel good about myself. Love our banter. It's always a good hang. I love you. You're my legend, dog.
Oh, thanks, Chris. That means a
Nice.
lot. I love you too, man. You're a good dude.
Thanks.
Always been a really good guy. Good human being. You're a good human being. You're a good egg.
Thanks, dude.
I love you.
Love you too.
Dude, my legend of the week is a film that we both really loved growing up. And I think it's kind of the best movie in some ways about America. It's The People vs. Larry Flint, made by the legendary filmmaker Milos Forman, who came from, I think, Czechoslovakia, and they ended up banning him from making movies there. So he came to America where he could make any kind of movies, even ones that challenged the kind of establishment. So he made this movie about the guy who started Hustler magazine, which is, super lurid and can be really over the top with its sexuality. But he ended up having to go to the Supreme Court because he was getting sued for making up lies, but joking lies about Jerry Falwell. And it became like a free speech argument. But basically what the movie's about is that like we live in this country where people are like crazy and different. But that's what's kind of great about this country is that you can be crazy and different in here. And then we're all kind of united by all these different flavors that we get. And that's what makes us able to make such good art and put together such good sports teams and, makes us innovative and, business and tech and science. Like, I think it's because we got all these different crazy people, you know what I mean? And you're allowed to get mad at each other here. And I'm patriotic about that. I'm like, People vs. Larry Flint makes me feel patriotic about America because I'm like, yeah, we're a place where you can have all these different things coexisting with each other. And I think that's nice.
Love it, dude. Love
Yeah.
that movie so much.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson, incredible in it. You know, he could have got drafted. Matthew McConaughey could have got drafted.
Oh, yeah.
No one went with Maddie Mack. Yeah, sorry I was on my soapbox there, but I just get fired up on that movie.
No,
And I'm trying to find healthy patriotism because I feel like we don't have enough. Yeah.
He didn't want to do the movie at first because I don't want to make a movie about this kind of thing. He's like, but then I'm reading about it more. It's about free speech, and he came from a country where they didn't have that. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes an outsider to make you appreciate what you got going on. Yeah. Chad, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week comes from Harrison Ford, just in the spirit of what we were doing. My goal was just to work regularly. I didn't ever expect to be rich or famous. I wanted to be a working character actor. Which I like, just fall in love with the process, enjoy the ride, don't be so result oriented, and you never know what'll come.
Agreed. That's nice.
And he was like on that talk show, and he was like rubbing the seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was
Like,
definitely on
and he was on something like, are you gonna make another like Indiana Jones or Star Wars? He goes, I hope so, and then just goes.
He's devilishly funny.
That was hilarious, and I just love. So it's funny that
When he was on
things changed.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know what? Money's really cool.
when he was
Yeah.
on Conan in the 90s promoting K-19 The Widowmaker, it's one of the funniest interviews ever. 'Cause
Oh,
he just
really?
shits on the title all the time.
That is a
It's
really
so
bad
funny.
name for a movie.
Yeah.
Catherine Bigelow, right, directed that?
I've never seen it.
It's a good movie.
Him and Liam Neeson, right? Another
Literally, I don't
sub-movie.
think I've seen it because of the name of it.
Isn't it Liam? I just
No,
remember
Sam
from
Neill.
the trailer.
I saw it back in the
right?
day.
I just remember
I think it's Sam Neill.
the trailer. Surfaced a boat, and he's Liam.
He is kind of a like weirdly quiet dude, right?
Yeah, I don't think he likes doing... No, it's Liam Neeson, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes doing press and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My bad. Chris, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week is from the first X-Men. It's early in the movie. Rogue just saw Logan, aka Wolverine, use his claws, and she looks at him and says, "Does it hurt?" And without looking at her, he just goes, "Every time." That's awesome.
That is a good line. My phrase of the week, or my quote of the week is from I watched this thing about Kafka and what Kafka-esque means. Dude, a little bit of a bummer, dude. So Kafka, who like a lot of people think is, and I've never even read his stuff, but I know his reputation. He's supposed to be one of the greatest writers of like the 20th century and, one of the most influential. Basically, his dad was like this super successful entrepreneur and just thought his son was just a bitch. Like Kafka was like kind of feeble-bodied and kind of had a lot of anxiety and was not like the tough, industrious person that his dad was looking for. And none of his books had any success when he was alive. And then so after the fact, his buddy, who was like also his publisher, Kafka was like, burn it all. Just burn it all. It's all crap. And then his buddy was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then it all goes on to, have this incredible legacy that's up there with like the greatest authors of all time. And I'm like, very sad. But this was the quote that Anne Rice said about him. This was the influence he had on her. Don't bend. Don't water it down. Don't try to make it logical. Don't edit your own soul according to the fashion. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly. Very inspiring. I would probably say, but maybe make it so people like it a little bit while you're around so you can enjoy that.
Isn't she the one who wrote Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah. And also, Kafka's dad, he wouldn't even let him write. He thought that was like soft.
Really?
Like Kafka was like, hey, I gotta get all these feelings and thoughts out of my typewriter. And his dad was like, don't write.
Nerd.
You're like, dude, the kid's writing. Like, it's healthy. Like, you don't like writing?
Just
What,
the
are you
idea
mad
that
at him
somebody's
for
like, I don't
writing?
like intelligence.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I don't want my kid to be one of them smarty pants, knows a lot of stuff and is creative.
Yeah, it's
his
interesting.
dad was just like, do you know how much typewriters cost and how to repair? Dude.
Yeah, his dad was like, just sell typewriters. Don't write on them. Sell typewriters. That's what a
Dumbass.
man. That's what a man does.
Good Joe is the dumbass. Trying to write.
Chat. What's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Pop the knuckles.
Nice. Chris, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
My phrase of the week for getting after it. Tonight, all bets are off.
Nice. My phrase of the week for getting after it. So, Kafka was born in Czechia, but he speaks German. So I'm gonna go with a German phrase of the week for getting after it. Pass auf, das uns niemanden Tisch weg mit. Watch out! Don't let anybody take our table.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You gotta know how to. You gotta, dude. Hey, that's big. That's big. Don't lose the table.
That's good stuff.
All right, dudes. That's Chris. Thank you so much, bro.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, guys. That was awesome.
Love you, dog. Good stuff.
Love you too. It's good meeting you, Aaron.
Get that fist.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
my
leave me
bad,
hanging.
dog.
There we
Let's
go.
go.
There we go.
All right.
Stokers, drink fruit smash. Thanks for listening. Keep writing reviews. They help us out. Shout out to Chris. Thank you for coming on. And anything else?
That's it.
That's it. All right, later.
If you need advice, these guys are real